to Netherkast. It's the Warrior Shrine. Has all the Nethercast dudes on it, except for that one, and that's okay.
He's on his yacht right now.
He's on a boat.
What is he on Fear the Walking Dead?
No, he likes to enjoy his captain's hat in the proper setting.
It's a nice captain's hat.
It is. I'm jealous.
I'm Django.
Nice to meet you.
Joined by Razor.
Yeah.
Shadaloo, representing USA, I just learned.
Yo. USA. All the way.
Enthusiasm.
And, as per usual, we got Temp, because, he's also the co-host of the show, as we do. This is the Warrior Shrine. It's not the Nethercast. Stop fucking asking. God damn it.
Does that question really come up a lot?
Yeah. Check my Twitter. It's not on there anywhere. We're going to talk about Street Fighter V, because...
We've wanted to for a while,
Warrior
really.
Shrine.
It's a World Warrior Shrine. It makes sense. Listen to Razor. He knows what's up. Temp, give us something to talk about with this. What do you call... Who makes this game again?
This is Capcom. It's definitely a Capcom game.
It's a
for sure.
Capcom game.
I looked it up and I found out it was a Capcom game.
Capcom.
Is this by SKN? We're sure.
It could be. That is a distinct possibility. Well, I guess not these days. I guess that boat sailed for sure. But okay, here's what we're gonna do. I was thinking, since pretty much everyone's revealed, we could just go down the list of characters, starting by in order of when they were revealed. So we're gonna start with Ryu. Do we like Ryu? Do we hate Ryu? What do we think of Ryu?
Gee, didn't see that coming.
Yeah,
but no,
there is
really,
that. I mean,
if for some reason,
Scorpion, you can't get
if
away
for some
from
reason anyone out there was actually saying yawn when Ryu shows up, what's wrong with you? This is inevitable. It's gonna happen. Are you a Hadoken or a Hadokant? Come on.
I mean, you could compare him to Scorpion and say, like, he's Scorpion, he has to show up. Even that analogy's not strong enough, in my opinion. He's more like the block button. He's gonna be there, like, pretty much no matter what.
No, you do have a point, because they did have a game without Scorpion one time.
Yeah.
So, well, here's my thing. Like, I like Ryu. I wish that alternate with the beard was his main.
Oh, it's so
yes,
sexy.
I agree.
It's so sexy.
I think the whole world
The
agrees.
people are calling it Sexy Ryu, that's true.
And it's
Fuck
different.
Ryu.
Everyone
Dad
needed
Ryu.
to look different.
Yeah, right. Like, well, here's a question. I keep hearing that this one is supposed to be between 4 and 3, as
That's
opposed
correct.
to after 3.
This is
Is
correct.
that true?
It is still between 4 and 3. We are
Okay.
still not taking the brave leap of acknowledging that the people that we don't apparently like from 3 are characters. A lot of people are
So-
saying, do not be surprised if, 6 overwrites 3, and I wouldn't ever want that to happen, but god damn, I would not be surprised if it did at this rate.
I'm just
I feel
ready
like
to move forward.
the thing is, they're being sort of... Some characters look older and some characters don't, and I just sort of want to know, because, I mean, Dulzim grew in that beard really quick, apparently. If we're still before 3.
Well, he wasn't in 3, was he?
Well, no, but, Ryu still has dark hair in 3, so he can't be that old. When is he gonna get old? How old is Dulzim
I
anyway?
think Dalzen's pretty fucking old anyway.
Yeah, maybe he already has gray hair, we just didn't know because he was bald.
Right.
I believe
I never saw
Dalzin's
any
in his,
Dalzen hair.
But,
late
I mean, well,
40s
Bison
something.
went gray, but maybe that has something to do with his deteriorating clone bodies or some shit.
It's got something to do with the levitation. Levitating...
Psycho power.
It's psycho hair. There you go.
Hey,
Psycho hair.
he went
Everything
Saiyan.
does
It's
is
awesome.
psycho.
I don't know. I just feel like it hurts 4. I'm not so much against the idea of doing another prequel, but that was Street Fighter 4's whole thing, is that it took place between 2 and 3. So now we have another game that takes place between 2 and 3, and it's just but we literally just did that. So that's my biggest
Yeah, I don't
problem.
know. I feel like 4's thing has since become it's the game with everybody they could squeeze in. It's like the new Alpha. The 3D version of Alpha, kinda.
That's
It
what
was
I was going to
basically-
say.
It was basically kind of like I'd call it Super Turbo for the current generation of video game players.
Eh.
That's what they're really trying to do. Just establish the spirit of having a ridiculously huge roster with mechanics very similar to Super Turbo and
Well, I don't know. On the other
Little
hand,
more
I mean,
advanced.
Alpha had 3 versions. It's sort of the Street Fighter thing to always have a Super and then a Super Turbo.
yeah.
But going back to Ryu, though, I agree. I really, really like Ryu. He was my main back in the World Warriors, like even before Super Street Fighter 4's. Wow, Super Street Fighter 2. That's confusing. And I did play him in the demo. I did play him quite a bit. They made his Dragon Punch way too easy. So I'm doing Dragon Punches whether I like it or not. But other than that, like, he feels great. Like, all the moves in Street Fighter 5 feel like they really hurt. It's a very satisfying gameplay style. I just love how balanced he is. I mean, I made Ryu in vanilla Street Fighter 4 as well before I started using Rose as my main. So I'm never going to get tired of Ryu. I like Ryu. I think he's a very safe design, but it works. It worked then. It's probably always going to work, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
Impossible to picture a game without him. What do we have to say about Ryu? Yup, he's Ryu.
I feel like it's a good time to say that I think half of us haven't actually played the game yet, and one of those half of us is me.
I am the other half of those. I
Oh, wait.
downloaded
I
the
think
beta, but I'm like,
actually,
I'm away
it
every
might
time.
be 3/4 of us haven't played it yet.
Oh,
I may
Miss
be
the
the only
attempts
one who's
played
played
it
this
then.
game.
Okay.
Yeah.
the Triforce of hypothetical discussion. I like it.
I feel
I
so
hope you're
alone.
listening, dear listeners who have actually played the game
all right,
more than we are.
I rarely have any kind of insight on gameplay when it comes to video games anyway.
Well, that means, Temp, you're holding down the regular Warrior Shrine for
I'll
today.
do my best.
So,
Yeah.
V skills, V triggers. What do you think of his?
I actually like it a lot. His V skill is the parry, and it's a lot of fun. I don't know how useful it is, but you can still parry supers and stuff like that, which is really sick. I can't do any of it. Like, the demo's gone. I couldn't, like, practice that, but yeah, it's super rewarding. I don't know how good it's going to be in terms of, like, the actual, like, footsie game. I just don't know. I don't know the frames on it. I don't know the recovery on it, but it's fun. His V trigger, I think, is his fireballs are upgraded, so they're faster and they do more damage. They have like a shocking property. I think they knock down as well, so they're pretty awesome.
He gets
I mean,
bigger
it's
balls.
not. Yes, it's not very, and they were already big balls to begin with, so it definitely says something. And
Big blue
yeah,
balls.
yeah, it's
To its natural conclusion, folks.
Well, I mean, you know, he's not meeting a lot of people out there in the woods of Japan.
What is he
What do you
beating it in
see?
the woods of Japan? What are you saying, Razor?
I'm just
What
saying
do you
he's a
see
lonely
in
guy.
front of your
His-
fist? No? Street Fighter 2, the animated movie? No? No?
Is that the one with
I
Chun-Li's
told
boobs?
you it's too long.
Yes, it is.
Okay, I saw that.
Yeah, I think
Been
they
a
were-
really long time, but I do remember a specific shower scene.
Good.
I remember a long-haired Spaniard breaking into her apartment. There's a few things I still remember from that movie.
He's in this game.
It holds up. The long-haired Spaniard. Yes, he is.
Yeah. It's okay. We're probably not there yet. Let's not jump the gun or the
It doesn't
shark.
just hold up. It's like the reason Alpha exists.
Is it?
Yeah, like they
pretty
liked
well.
it so much that they made a game sort of based on it. Like it's not completely canon, but like they got a bunch of ideas from it and stuff.
Who is that
Ken
Leon
having,
Kennedy-looking dude from Alpha?
The one in the prison jumpsuit?
I don't remember.
Cody?
Maybe.
I think you might be talking about Guy
It might be Guy. It's definitely not Cody.
in the red jumpsuit or the red gi.
I don't remember. Maybe it's not Alpha.
I look at Guy's hair and I kind of see a little bit of Leon Kennedy in there.
Okay, I'll
Wait,
get
is
to the
there
bottom
a-
of this myself.
Is there a police-looking guy in one of the EX games? Is that what
That's
he's?
what it was. It was EX, not Alpha.
Yeah.
Oh,
Or-
that's not my territory.
Maybe
I
you're
never
thinking of
played
maybe you're thinking of Doctor in Dark. Wore a mask, had a couple of blades.
I was thinking of all those dudes.
I
Same
miss
time.
those games. I
It
really
was
do.
hot. Anyway,
Next character is Chung Li.
really?
Yep.
All right.
Uh huh.
We're going by reveals. Ryu was fighting Chun-Li in the first trailer.
Yeah, I guess. When do we get to the spaghetti bowl?
I was actually about to
Talk
say.
about that right now.
Have we seen a single other like dynamic stage interaction since the spaghetti bowl?
I know they're out there. I think there's one with a bus, but I haven't seen any
Yeah,
others.
I remember seeing two dudes butt fucking in a bus.
You're laughing, but
sounds
that's
legit.
actually something that rings a bell. This is
Oh, it's there.
this is something that is actually in one of the videos.
And it's not
There's, like-
interpretive. It is happening in the bus.
I'm sure they've since removed that along with the butts.
I don't think that you're going to get a lot of complaints from people about that. I'd be surprised. I hope it's still in the game, just because I haven't laughed at anything else yet, really. I need humor.
Well, I don't think they were
Find
removing
all the
anything
land in
for complaints. I
Thailand.
think they're just trying to avoid the dreaded M rating, which, can I just point out that the best-selling game of 2015 was M rated?
It's true.
Gonna do that?
It's true.
Nudge, nudge.
I think we all know what I'm talking about there.
Well, I mean,
But
like,
It's also a fighting game.
how does that
But-
work? Like, what happens if, something slips right past the E ESRB?
Well, they people
Did-
catch it,
Do they
And
spank
they
your
can
butt
think
and
about
censor
it.
it later?
and then
They
the
can
ESRB
basically-
makes you release a new version, like with GTA and Hot Coffee.
What they'll basically do is, well, these days they'll just ask you to patch it. They will
Yeah.
go to Sony or Microsoft and they'll go, "Hey, your boys, they done fucked up. Don't let me send our boys to talk to your boys."
I didn't know the
Nice
then-
ESRB was
It's
Italian.
a
That's
shame if
amazing.
something happened to it.
Interesting. Okay.
So Chun-Li is now no longer a charge character. So I actually really like
This isn't-
Chun-Li. Like for real, I
This is
think
not
she's
the
a great
first time
character.
this has happened. Chun-Li's never been like a completely charged character or like she's a hybrid. Fireball motions sometimes, charge motions other games. I swear there was at least one game where like the spinning bird kick was like a quarter circle back. Maybe one of the earlier versions of Super Turbo or something.
Yeah, possibly. She's definitely one of the candidates of one of my mains in this game, but not so much because the charge is gone, but because the piano inputs are gone. That's what really held me back from playing Chun-Li in the past. At high level, trying to link into those fucking lightning legs was really difficult. It's what kept me from playing characters like Blanca, Honda, and Chun-Li. And I actually really do like Chun-Li as a character.
See, I know that the 360s, except for like one of Zangief's moves, are gone. You're telling me that like lightning kicks are now no longer rapid kick presses?
It's a quarter circle now, I believe.
That is weird.
I mean, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's a quarter circle now. I only played 2 characters in the beta, and because I told myself if I'm going to play the beta, I'm going to play it competitively. So I'm not going to use this as an opportunity to learn characters. I'm going to pick one character. I'm going to get as good as I can, and I'm going to try to win because that is the real fighting game experience, in my opinion. So that's what I did, and I knew Chun-Li was just not something I could learn. 45 seconds between matches. It wasn't practical. So
So you're not going to be that helpful with gameplay shit in this podcast. God damn.
probably not. No.
If you guys
Like I
are
said,
thinking
I'll
of
do my
strategy or tactic analysis, you can just turn it off right here. Spend time on Pornhub or Fallout while you Pornhub.
That I'm sure you can watch.
Yes.
But does anyone have anything on Chun-Li? Do they like Chun-Li? Do they hate Chun-Li? Do they want Chun-Li gone? Do they think she should be
Okay,
around
well-
forever?
Because, we're the guys that talk story and shit, a very, very good reason for there to be a game between 2, 4, and 3 was the fact that between Urien and Chun-Li, I think it was, in 3, Third Strike, there's dialogue relating to the fact that her legs, quote-unquote, took down that organization. So, yeah, it's heavily implied that Chun-Li is directly responsible for Shadowloo falling apart. And a lot of the speculation is that this might be the game where that finally happens, since they, of course, didn't really address that at all in 4, period.
Yeah, plus Chun-Li does eventually retire as a police officer and head an orphanage or something like that.
Yeah, pretty much.
We haven't seen that yet, so I don't know. I feel the same way about her that I do about Ryu. I just wish she had like a new costume because like Chun-Li in the past was one of the few characters who has changed her clothes from game to game. Like she's dressed completely different in Alpha than as she is from her like classic gear. You know that sort of jumpsuit.
I've always loved the jumpsuit personally.
Yeah, I like it too.
I mean, don't get me wrong, the spiky bracelets are kind of classic, but I feel like they've kind of aged a bit poorly.
That's how I feel about the fire hydrants on Cammy's arms. Okay, quick correction, guys. She actually is still a charge character, but the piano inputs are gone. Her projectile is still charged. Her spinning Burke... Wow, this is going smooth. I'm already fucking up bad. But yeah, the piano inputs are gone. Yeah, so I will be looking forward to playing this character. 'Cause I actually like the charge inputs. I don't mind those. It's always been the... mash the fuck out of punch. That's always been the thing I've struggled with. Because it's hard for me to do that in a combo,
And I'm thinking this as a sometime Honda main when he comes back, shit's gonna be unpleasant. I like it.
Yeah, I like Honda. I'm kind of sad he didn't make it back. Alright, well, I guess that's all the Chun-Li. The next character on the list is Nash. Or Charlie.
Charlie Nash. That's his.
Okay, I
Charlie
get
Nash.
elephant in the room. I get why they did it. If you're gonna call Guile by his last name, logically you should be calling Charlie by his last name too, I suppose. It'll never stop me calling him Charlie though. It's how I grew up with him.
It's fine. It's not like Eris and Aerith where there's a clear, obvious... Like, they're both his name.
Okay, so wait a minute.
Hi.
Charlie.
Go on.
Charlie, as per the lore, became Blanca in the movie. Is that right?
He was engineered by the scientist Dalsim. That is correct.
What you say is true from a certain point of view.
But don't worry, Dalsim became a witch doctor in 5 minutes and then died for no reason.
Well, he had to repent for his mad science.
Why did Blanca have to repent? He didn't fucking do anything wrong. Why does he have to be crushed in the rubble?
Because he was ugly. It was a
No,
message.
I meant why Dalsim turned a whatever version of Hindu involves wearing little skulls as a necklace.
Baby skulls. That's also in the lore.
Yeah.
The lore. Check the lore. Okay, we just did that though. So, Charlie becomes Blanca later. That's why Blanca's not in this game. Actually, look at him. He's half Blanca.
Maybe the necklace of baby skulls is some very important tradition in Hindu, and I'm offending people because I don't know anything about that religion.
I assumed they were
just
plastic. I
not
didn't think
at
they were
all.
real babies, but... Here's a question. Is this a good character addition? Is this someone
Charlie?
we wanted back? Yeah.
It was about
At least
time.
in terms of the hierarchy of characters we wanted back.
It was about time.
On one hand, I mean, they already brought Gouken back and made mincemeat of the idea of anybody dying in Street Fighter. And technically, Charlie died 3 times in Alpha, so...
Actually, the way it goes... This time I get to screw in a little bit of lore. Alpha 2 replaces Alpha 1 entirely.
Yeah.
Alpha 1 is kind of non-canon. And through a little bit of SFV data mining, they found, again, more dialogue files. And some of the dialogue for Charlie is blow for blow his Alpha 2 ending. So that appears to be the way that actually happened.
Okay.
He got shot down by a helicopter in Venezuela. Apparently.
So he didn't blow up Bison's psycho drive?
Apparently not.
Okay. Well, all I know, like, I read the Udon one shot, the deaths and rebirth of Charlie Nash, whatever they called it.
Did they have the psycho base blowing up? Is that what they did there?
I don't know. They were. I can't remember. They were vague about his death scene. What I mainly remember, it's like a recap of his, I don't know, origin, his training, why he's so important to like the military, and why the Illuminati chooses to bring him back. And it's
See-
mostly like it takes place inside his mind as they're trying to, like, they have to convince him to accept the mind control.
Okay.
So it's like Urian and some secretary character are in his head, like conversing with him, and he
Colon.
thinks it's like in heaven, or like trying to. It's about him coming back from the dead, basically, how and why they achieved it.
Well, at any rate, it is possible that they might not be a strict tie-in to the game and try to fall a bit more on their own continuity. Because in
Yeah,
the
I
Udon
mean-
comics, Charlie basically like got thrown off of a cliff after being beaten to a pulp. Then he came back as like Agent Shadow in a nice little Marvel verse reference.
Oh yeah,
Speaking of
they
which,
reference all that stuff. So
Yeah.
it does stay consistent to Udon canon. So
speaking of which, I'm kind of really hoping for a shadow skin, a straight shadow skin, just black with like glowing white eyeglasses. That's what I want out of this game. Make that happen for me, Capcom. I want to see that shit.
I'm sure it will, honestly. Because my experiences with Shadow Charlie come almost exclusively from the Marvel Versus series. Like that's where all my Charlie experience comes from. I didn't play any of the Alpha games, unfortunately.
Oh wow,
yeah,
that is-
so I missed out on all of that.
that is
which
actually
kind of the point.
damn weird. Cool.
Yeah, well, what happened was Alpha came out around the. I was a big arcade goer, and when I was playing competitively at the arcades, I could choose to play Alpha, or X-Men versus Street Fighter, or Marvel versus Street Fighter, or Marvel versus Capcom. So
Ah,
just-
you did it
I
again.
picked-
You did it again. You gross. So gross.
Capcom.
Quit it.
I'm trying.
I told you, man. Before we started, I told you it's pronounced Capcom.
MVC.
There you go.
And basically, there was something immediately more gratifying about the crossover games. And in Alpha, I just didn't really have a concept of footsies yet, so it wasn't really that rewarding. I loved doing air combos. I loved doing aerial raves into 14 more hits. Like, that was fun to me, so I just kind of picked which game I wanted to put my energies into, and it ended up being the crossover games, which I still really like today.
Yeah, they do have the X-Men in them.
Yeah, no, it's true. They got Venom in one. And Mega Man. The only
Mega
game
Man.
with Mega Man in it.
Remember that guy?
Yeah. He's dead.
You're gonna make me cry. Stop it. Stop it with my feelings.
He's not as dead as Konami, so at least there's that.
Hey,
He's still
Hey.
pretty dead. Those are both different degrees of dead.
listen. One day we'll do a dead
He's
warrior
running
shrine,
around
I'm just
Okay.
saying, it's not Mega Man pachinko machines you need to be worried about.
Look, Mega Man's just running around in Silent Hill with like Simon Belmont's vampire.
Hold on.
coat.
No, stop that. Stop it. No. Save it for the fallen warrior shrine. That's gonna happen someday, when we're dead.
It will. But I guess where I'm going with this is I'm not really a big Charlie fan. I think he's a good addition. Like, I think he adds a really nice dynamic to the roster. Just not one of the characters I'm excited for, honestly. Even as far as
Looks cool.
Alpha goes, my favorite Alpha characters, I would put 4 or 5 above Charlie, honestly.
But he looks cool.
I can see that, but the thing is, those 4 or 5 alpha characters, odds are, unless they're Sodom, you played them last game.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, my main was an Alpha character. I mained Rose pretty much through most of the life of Street Fighter 4. I think in the very beginning I mained Ryu, and then at the very end I tried to switch to Yang, but Rose was pretty much my main.
Boo.
And I did good too. The first tournament I ever entered in my life, I got 5th place with Rose, so I still hold that very close to my heart.
No, you
Not
didn't.
too shabby.
Yeah, I like the character. We had good times.
Never happened.
I got pictures.
Do you?
Okay. I really no, I don't think I do anymore.
I didn't think so.
4th character, M. Bison. Thoughts?
The gray hair works for him. I like it.
Yeah.
It's as white as his teeth.
Right.
That's
The
good.
long coat. I mean, it's a very small change, but at least it's a change. More than I can say for Chun-Li.
Digging the trench coat too. The trench coat really gives his floatiness a nice
Yeah.
charisma to it.
He's looking more boss-like than he's looked in quite some time. It's nice. Looking at this makes me think of like CVS2 Bison. He had a real like aura of badassness about him in that game, and I'm sensing a bit more of it here, which is nice.
He always
If
lost
this
his
is
bosshood
if this
with
is
me.
the game where he goes down looking like a champ.
I hope so. Yeah, he always loses his bossiness to me whenever he throws off that cape in the beginning.
I will say this though, this is the most Nazi he's ever looked. Like this is the first time his Nazi aesthetic kind of made me a little uncomfortable.
That's actually not an unfair point.
It's just how I feel. It's a little too close. Like I get they were always going for that, but like it felt really cartoonish before. This time it doesn't feel cartoonish. It feels serious, and that makes me uncomfortable.
Well, it's okay as long as the Nazi you're depicting is bad, right? I didn't play the new Wolfenstein, so I don't know.
I don't think there's like a moratorium on you're not allowed to have Nazis as the bad guy in your thing.
That's true.
Just wanted to make sure. I'm not familiar with that lore, so...
Unless you live in Germany, in which case they kind of have to censor all the swastikas. And,
They do.
yeah.
They're extra harsh on that stuff.
Did they not get to play the new Wolfenstein?
I believe it was banned there.
Oh. Okay.
I don't know. On one hand, there is kind of something like a little. It's too extreme. The censorship. It's like, you know, I know you're really ashamed about your history and all, but I don't know that you're that this is, you know, those who forget the past are doomed to repeat it and that sort of thing.
You know, I am terrified of hailing a cab in Germany. I really am.
Is that a problem? Have you been to Germany recently?
No, but I mean, it is illegal to do a Hitler salute over there. Completely illegal.
Oh, I got you now.
Well,
I
then
got you.
just use an Uber, bro.
Do a peace sign. Don't, like, bend the elbow.
Use your cell phone.
Use both hands?
Don't just.
I was just doing
some
some
of the
Olympic
fingers in.
swimming.
Wave with your pointer.
Light a
Practicing
flare.
for some Olympic swimming rallies. Yes.
Just whack their cars as they drive by.
Hey, pick me up.
And then just say you're an American and blame it on us. That'll be fine.
I like this strategy.
I like this strategy too.
Just don't wear a red mask and say you are failing. That might come off wrong.
I don't get that lore.
It's good lore. It's good lore.
What is it?
Oh, it's Captain America, First Avenger.
Oh!
It's just so funny when you realize things. I don't know why that makes me laugh, but M. Bison, is he a good addition? Do we feel like he makes obviously he makes sense, but do we feel like out of all the characters that could have been in this game, he is a good choice?
I think he is, yes.
I think, yeah, I mean, on one hand, I sort of don't like it when the main bad guy keeps not dying, but at the same time, he was in 4 and there was definitely no closure there, so I hope this is the one.
My answer is going to be the same for all these questions. It's going to be, was this previously discussed character Sean? I'm disappointed.
That's fair. That's very fair.
We'll kind of get there. Kind of.
Kinda.
Yeah, that's coming.
But as far as people who aren't Sean go, Bison looks pretty cool to me.
I think he can stand to take a break next time, though.
A break.
It's hard for me, honestly, because he's a really unique gameplay style. And I feel like Street Fighter, because they can't reinvent the wheel like MK can every game, you really got to make sure you get that style represented. So it's always going to be hard for me to say no to Bison. Just not a lot of characters like him. Just a very frustrating, defensive, pokey character with good aerial mobility.
God, that's
He's hard to replace. There's not a lot of characters like that, in my opinion.
You know what, though? Like, I would actually be totally down for Bison to, like, never go away if they actually, like, used his body jumping to change his character design radically. Like, my favorite version of Cammy is the one that wears Bison's clothes.
That's a good costume, yeah. No, I agree.
Wait.
And, like, I'm not saying, like, remove
Change
Cammy from the game and make a female blonde pigtailed Bison who does all of Bison's moves but looks like Cammy. Like, I just have him actually lose his body and jump into another one.
Wait.
And, like,
There is nothing Freudian about any of this.
there's something weird about his desire to be a girl. Let's not pretend otherwise.
Hold
but
on.
He really wants to be Rose.
I
like
get
a
it. Oh,
lot.
God.
Well, I
No,
thought
okay,
Rose-
the whole
is,
Rose
like,
thing.
the good half of his soul that he
No, it's not. She's really not. That whole thing is the result of some terrible ass Alpha 3 translation.
Okay.
Like,
Oh shit.
the gist
Go
of it
on.
was, like, he basically meant to say something. Fucking, I forget. Actually, hang on. Let me go look this up.
Give
Keep
us
going.
the geist of it all.
I don't know. I just like
Okay. Well,
all I remember is the part of the apparently mistranslated part where he split the good and the evil in himself in two, and he's the evil and Rose is the good.
that sounds like making babies. Listen, who was DiCaprio as per the lore?
She's
One of the
well,
dolls,
all
right?
of the dolls are like kidnapped girls, but she was like, she looks kind of like Cammy, and she's scarred, so she's jealous she can't be Cammy or something like that.
So she's not Cammy.
Because Cammy is like the favorite doll, because that's the one Bison wanted to put his soul in.
Okay, here we go.
Oy.
When he was saying one soul, two separate bodies, what they were trying to get across there was the fact that Bison's body was unstable. What he did was he temporarily inhabited Rose's soul. His soul temporarily inhabited Rose's body for a time. And then, I guess they grew him a new one, and he left hers.
Okay, so
That's it.
she was
They're
a
not the
part-time
same
Cammy.
guy. Pretty much. That's it.
Boom! Eat
That's
shit,
actually a
Pad
little
Scrubs.
disappointing compared.
Well, I mean,
I don't know.
it's-
Well, there was another. Well, is any part of it canon? The idea that like the person he learned psycho power from was Rose's dad or some shit like that, or like they had the same mentor.
I think that is canon.
Because I know that her power is like the good version of psycho power. It's like the force and the dark side.
I got
Pretty
nothing.
well. Pretty well.
Yeah.
Like,
Soul
like,
power and psycho power. I think. Yeah.
Soul power.
his is a corrupted version of hers. And yes, Rose does use soul power. Gotta have it. Soul power.
That's why I use her. That's why she's great.
Okay, cool.
Just a quick story here. I remember watching The Legend of Chun-Li with my parents. And they knew I played Street Fighter. And I was like, oh, okay, so you know all these characters. And I'm like, yep, I know them. And they're like, oh, so which one do you use? And I point to like the 16-year-old girl on a boat, and I'm like, yeah, that's my character. And they're like, what? I'm like, no, she's very different. She's not like that at all. She's not some random broad with no lines.
Well, the first mistake was that 3 people watched The Legend of Chun-Li in that story.
Honestly, this is controversial, but
Uh-oh.
I don't think that movie's even that bad, honestly. It's not a good movie, but if you compare it to like the original Street Fighter, which the only reason people like it are for the lulls. No one really likes that movie.
Yeah,
It's
but at
still an
least the
improvement,
lulls are
it's just a
something.
shitty movie. What's up?
At least the lulls or something. I don't know that there's anything to talk about other than like the stuff they got wrong with Legend of Chun-Li.
There's a lot of that, and I mean, again, my main character is Rose, so clearly I was pissed, but also Robin Shaw is Gen. What the fuck? But anyway.
Yeah, that.
What the fuck? But I like what's her name's performance as Chun-Li. I actually thought that was good. I thought Michael
Lana
Clark.
from Smallville.
Yeah, I thought it was good. I thought it was a good
Alright, I
performance.
guess.
Yeah, I mean that's better. That's an improvement.
I don't know. She's a TV actress. She has the skills of a TV actress.
Oh shit!
I
I saw
can't
the
argue.
first half of this movie. Oh, gross! I'm getting memories. Yeah, exactly. It was just completely bad because it wasn't even funny. Razor was right.
There. See, when am I not?
I'm just saying, Michael
Today.
Clark Duncan as Balrog is not that bad. I can go for that. I
Well,
can sit
they
down
got
and go.
1 out of a million.
And then it killed him. So you happy?
There's only 2 things that really pissed me off in that movie. One was obviously they fucked up Rose bad, like both directions. It was horrible. The only other thing that really bothers me about that movie,
Is everything else?
I mean, there's a lot. But I'm trying to think. Well, there's one thing that I walked away with that movie just really. See, I know what it is. I'm trying to remember his name. What the fuck is his name?
Wait, was Vega in that movie?
Yes, Taboo. Taboo is Vega. That's what really pissed me off.
Did he have blonde
The
hair?
only fucking
Nope.
thing I remember
God
about
damn it.
that whole movie, apart from like M. Bison being just a dude in a suit, was Taboo given this like interview about being Vega before the movie ever debuted, and he's like, "Oh, the thing about Vega, right? It's like he's so cool. He's got this mystery about him, right? Like you don't know what's under that mask.
Yeah, we
it's like
do.
he could be an alien."
No.
That's what I knew this movie was doomed.
Man, you guys
Yeah,
are
that
bringing
was
back
the
horrible
fucking-
memories. I forgot that the fucking Black Eyed Pea was Vega.
Yeah, no, and he has no lines. You put him Vega in a movie,
Oh,
and
that's
he gives
good.
fucking lines. Like that's that was so bad.
I mean-
Like so many good Spanish actors, and that and Taboo really. Like okay, those are the two things that
You know
really
what,
pissed
though?
me off. Yeah.
We suffered through all that, but now Assassin's Fist exists. So
Yes,
I still haven't seen it actually. I
Oh,
really want to, but I haven't
Oh,
seen it.
dude, make it a priority. Make it a priority right now. It's so good.
I can do that. That'll be on my list after
Whoa, wait.
25 hours of Fallout 4.
I mean, that's a height that Mortal Kombat hasn't reached yet. Something
Wait.
that's actually fucking canon accurate.
Right. Is Assassin's Fist the web series?
yes.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that's really good. You should get on that. Fuck you.
We should also give special shout outs to Chris Klein as Charlie Nash in the Legend of Chun-Li movie. Because
Why are we not talking about 5 right now?
Because there was a B-movie noir detective that was Charlie Nash.
The one that became Blanca?
Might as well. Let's go
No,
with
the-
I am examining
Yeah.
my fingernails right now.
that.
Examining my fingernails.
Quickly, say a Street Fighter character. Somebody.
Birdie!
Bird.
Yes.
Birdie the next, yeah. Birdie.
Yes,
Say
boss.
Yeah, thank you.
What's that?
Thank you. Okay, I was waiting for it. Okay.
No,
Shadow,
after
I
my
want to know
next one
what
was
you
Cammy,
think.
wasn't it? About Birdie?
Cammy and Birdie were relatively the same time. We got the teaser for Birdie first, I think.
Alright, so it's just, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, but you roll with this one because this is kind of like one of your characters, I think.
Yes, it is. On the one hand, fuck yes. On the other, what the fuck?
Yeah, yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah,
I
I
just-
agree with that.
The thing is, I can't even say this is wrong. It's like, this is exactly how I picture this guy with his lifestyle that he lives being like 20 years later. I can't be entirely angry at it. I'm just sad that I have to look at it.
I just here's the thing. I don't mind him being fat and worn out and old. I don't have a problem with that. Like
I just
sometimes
wish he
that
would
happens.
pull like donuts out of like fucking hammer space, you know?
Yeah, I wish he
You
would
can-
pick his
you can
nose and
s-
scratch his ass. That's what I
Yeah, like
hate.
they seem to be under the impression that somebody has to be the Rufus in every game, and I don't know that that's necessarily true.
Even Rufus was more dignified than this because Rufus had his own kind of weird brand of
I
cool.
don't know, man. Rufus had
No.
the
Rufus was actually kind of funny at points. That dialogue he had with, again, characters being aliens. It was amazing. Dalsim's win quote to Rufus is, "I am not an alien." Great.
Rufus worked, in my opinion. I thought Rufus was good.
Birdie's thing is like you can't get rid of certain things of his gameplay by giving him a classic costume. Because he's still gonna have like his weird, aforementioned farts and donut breath and whatever else
yeah.
he got.
The hitbox has to stay the same.
So that's gonna be tough to undo.
I mean, overall, he's kind of in Nash territory. I don't dislike Birdie. I really don't. Just wasn't one of my top picks to come back. And from a gameplay perspective, there's only 16 to 22 characters in this game. How many grapplers do we need? And granted,
There's a
Birdie,
lot.
I would give
A
a
lot of
pass.
grapplers.
There's one coming that I do not give a pass, who I think should not be in this game. But Birdie, I'm okay with a grappler, but
Is it Hugo?
yet,
no.
it's
But
not.
I would veto Hugo. I don't want Hugo back. Honestly,
Aw.
I've never been a Hugo fan.
He's got a
His
big
face looks like
chain.
melting ice cream to me.
He's got a chain. I guess Birdie has a chain in this game, doesn't he?
He has a couple of chains.
Okay.
Birdie has
okay.
always had a chain.
All right.
The reason
We're
his
good.
face is melting
Well,
is so he
well,
looks
no,
like
not
Andre
one.
the Giant. You realize that, right?
Yeah, I know, but it's
See, the thing is, he was actually kind of spooky looking back in 3, you know?
That's
Like,
true. He was really. He
The
had like some
pupils
sort
were
of
like
scary-
just completely white.
like
He was
his
menacing.
Yeah, his face looks like a ghost face from Scream.
Well, it's hard to be spooked by Hugo when I'm still having like sweat-induced nightmares from Oro, which I never really truly got
Yeah,
over. Like,
Oro is some weird shit.
that fucker hurts the eyes. Like it's not even just
I
like the
love
horrible
Oro.
face. It's
I
like
love him.
the hairs, like the few hairs he has left that sag in the wind. Oh, it's fucking
Yeah, that's-
nightmares to me.
Oro was great, wasn't he? Didn't he have one arm?
Well,
He had two arms,
It was
but
that thing where he,
shirt so he won't fight with it because he's handicapping himself to give everybody else a chance.
What a badass!
canonically, Oro
Yeah,
is the
right.
single strongest person in the entire Street Fighter universe. He fought Akuma to a standstill with the armband, still though, with the arm bandage, I believe.
When does Liu Kang start doing this?
I'm waiting for it, dude.
When is he gonna
We're
get
all
an? He's dumb dead. Let's not. I don't want to talk about Mortal Kombat. Let's not do that. But
Yeah, that road leads to disappointment.
But at some point down the road, I want to see a non-undead Liu Kang. That's just, he's alive, but he's also a cocky dick. When he fights you with one hand tied behind his back, because he can. He's Liu Kang. He's a badass. Everyone knows that.
I would like Liu Kang to get better. But you're right. That not only does that road lead to not amazing places, but it's a long road.
Yeah, it's okay. Let's rewind back to Birdie. Birdie.
Honestly, I really was
said my
expecting, like,
piece.
I
Yeah,
really
yeah.
am expecting Ryu to be like tossing out one-handed Hadoukens with one hand like bandaged behind it because Oro's supposed to take him in at the end of Third Strike to be his own student. So that's something that I do want to see
Well,
eventually at some point.
keep hoping for a game set after Third Strike.
That's the pickle, isn't it?
See, I was really sad that Ken didn't have those kick fireballs. I liked that shit. That shit was fun.
Yeah, those were cool.
Damn straight.
But now he's just back to, wearing Under Armour or whatever that shit's called.
We'll get to Ken.
I just want the game
Ken's-
where Sakura isn't dressed like a schoolgirl anymore.
Dude, everyone wants that. It's actually kind of amazing how, I guess you might say, progressive a lot of the Street Fighter fans are, because no one wants Cammy in a thong anymore. We all want Sakura to just grow the fuck up and get out of college, or wherever the hell she is now at this point. If she shows up in this game, she can't be running around with the schoolgirl
Well, I
outfit.
mean, Karen's in the game and Sakura's not. How does that fare?
It doesn't. She's gonna be around eventually.
I just feel weird about people asking for a progressive anime. It's like, just watch something else. But hey, that's just me. Okay, back to Street Fighter. It's fine. It's cool.
Okay, any final thoughts on Birdie? I don't have a lot to say on this character,
Is he,
honestly.
Does he still have that super in this one where like he just jumps all the way across the screen and starts slamming you around? Because that used to be my favorite freaking thing to do.
I think he jump ropes you with his chain in this one.
Okay.
I think.
I'll not the same one then. Because there was nothing that I loved more than surprising people with Birdie. It's like, hey, guess what? I've got a full screen level 3 jump super, bitch. Thanks for the fireball.
That sounds way cooler than what we got, honestly. But although his new super's not bad at all, it just, I don't know. It's Birdie. He just wasn't that high on my list, unfortunately. And like I said, I only played 2 characters of the demo, and neither one I plan on maining, unfortunately. Chun-Li, actually, I might end up maining when everything's said and done. I didn't even touch Chun-Li. I didn't know she was still a charge character. That shows how much I know. So, all right. Next
know.
we have.
Well, before we go to the next guy, I wonder if, like, this game is supposed to have some kind of, like, story mode, right?
Yes, it does.
I wonder if the fact that Birdie's, a sloppy aging guy is going to actually amount to anything, because it seems like a good hook.
I'd like to believe that. I really would, but I think that that's just how they want to portray him right now. But again, going back to Hugo. Hugo in 3 was this really intimidating, scary-ass presence, but when they put him in, like, Ultra 4, did you see that guy's opening, like, cinematic, where, like, they talk about the reasons he's in the tournament?
Yes, I did.
It's this fucking... Yeah, for the guys, it's this flashback to, like, growing up with his mom, like, really dirt poor, and, like, eating potatoes.
Oh, yeah,
And his
yeah.
mom,
And, like,
his mom's like, you must be strong like a
decides
potato, and he's just...
to let Poison manage him because she calls him a potato.
Pretty much. He starts screaming to the heavens. Screaming to the heavens, he's going to be strong like potato. That's- Everyone's got to be the Rufus. Everyone.
I don't know. Here's the, like I don't like Hugo, but I do like Poison, and you can't have one without the other, and that bums me out.
They did a really good job on Poison too. Like when she finally translated into a gameplay setting, she was a really interesting character. I mean, she's kind of Shoto-esque, but yeah. Also, Poison is the most interesting part of both her own story and Hugo's story as well. Like Hugo's not terribly interesting. He's he's a wannabe potato.
He's just there to have an Andre the Giant reference.
It's not a bad reference. I don't hate Hugo, but yeah.
I do like the notion, though, that, like, after Final Fight, almost every member of Mad Gear who showed up later has no interest in restarting the old thing, except for, like, Sodom, maybe, sometimes. But, like, they've all moved on to have their own separate goals. It's like, eh.
Like, Sodom's the only guy who's never come back, and it keeps making me wonder, where is he? Because, I don't know, the guy in the samurai gear is kind of an interesting thing.
I want Sodom to come back so hard with all of his English intact. Die job death car.
With his little two-pronged sai thing.
Two-pronged sai, or if... What was it called? Jite. It was his Jite.
Ah, yeah.
I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. And if you were in Excess mode in Alpha 3, his old-school Final Fight katana.
See, I played Final Fight, but I completely forgot about Sodom. I remember Poison. I remember Hugo's. Lots of Hugo's. I don't remember Sodom.
Rolento was there too?
Rolento I remember. I do remember Rolento.
Do you guys know that, like...
Yeah?
Speaking of which, did you guys know that, like, Rolento is again, the result of a Maggle translation? The guy's name is supposed to be Laurent. First time I heard that, boom, blew my mind. I'm like, this makes so much more sense.
Well...
He seems so very angry French militant to me. Laurent is the perfect name for this character.
Right. And no offense, but Japanese people can't say Rolento.
When you select the guy in Alpha 2, it says Roland.
Well, they can't say Zelda, right? I don't know.
Zeruda.
Right. Zeruda.
Zeruldo.
I like those names better, actually.
Everything I know about Japan, I learned from video games.
Sounds about half true for me.
Muda.
All right, next character, we got Cammy.
Oh, my eyes! I saw a lady bulge! Oh my god!
Do we want to talk about that right now?
I don't really have much to say about it. Like, honestly, I'm indifferent. I'm definitely not upset about it. And
well, I would have noticed Mika not slapping her butt, but I don't think I would have noticed the Cammy one if it hadn't been pointed out. But now that I do notice it, it bums me out because the original, despite the camera being pointed right at her V-trigger, is a much more dynamic angle, that upward shot looking from her boot. The new version looks kind of boring. In terms of, like, artistic camera angles and perspective and shit. I don't know.
I actually feel the opposite. I guess I kind of get why they did it. It might be a matter of the ESRB putting a little bit of pressure on them to go, let's not be so fan servicey, watch your ratings. But no focus on the Mika ass slap bums me out. Haha. Because
I don't know.
It was so perfect for her character, you know?
Yeah, it's a silly thing. That's not, like, sexual, really. It's more of a comedy bit.
Pretty much. It's exasperating. And they even toned down, like, the way that they land from that super. They're not splitting the guy's legs so, like, there's groin damage anymore.
Yeah,
that's too much.
That's a big bummer, because it doesn't look anywhere near as painful now.
Stupid.
I figured I don't actually mind them censoring their own game. They have a right to do that. But I wish they would have changed the animations, like just get rid of the butt slap and replace it with something cooler. Like, that's the angle I would have preferred, and I don't like her super, honestly. Like, crushing a dude's head with your ass, I don't, it's not funny. Like, that's, it's like Birdie, like, all the nose picking and ass scratching, that's not funny. So why couldn't you do something cool, you know? So all the problems are still there. It's just, now it's less complete.
I don't know. By itself, I don't find it funny, but a close-up of Maximilian with his eyebrow raised saying 2 butts, I find that funny.
That is pretty funny. Yeah, no, that is good shit. But other than that, this is not something I feel strongly about. This is not something I'm up in arms about by any means.
Slightly
Like, I don't know.
disappointed, but it's not going to end my day.
But
So Cammy.
yeah. Cammy indeed, Cammy indeed.
Could have gone without her. Sorry. It's never going to happen. She's a face character. But I'm just bored.
I don't know. I like Cammy, but I mean, like I said, my favorite Cammy is the one that where Bison takes over her body and she wears the costume, the red.
I actually like Cammy. I think she's a good addition. I will probably never use her, but I think in terms of iconic characters, she's higher up in the list than a lot of others. I actually do think she does belong in this game. So I'm pro Cammy, but I'm not super into the character or anything. I don't know. Something about her feels very Street Fighter to me. It's kind of like a God, what's a good example? Kind of like a Melina type character to me, who probably someone I won't use, but I just feel like makes everything feel complete to me.
Yeah, her playstyle is sort of iconic, the cannon drills and everything.
Again, not that plot ever dictates anything roster-wise in a Street Fighter game, but if it is Shadowloo's last hurrah, then I can think of no better person to be present for it. I'll give her that.
I also do like the buddy thing she has going with the Chun-Li, and sort of the implied rivalry between those two and Juri. I kind of like that a lot too. I think we need more of that in Street Fighter. I feel like sometimes in Street Fighter, the characters aren't connected enough. There's just the same old Sagat Ryu, Ken.
That goes back to like two really like being about a tournament. There's so many guys who just showed up for the like Honda's not really there for any other reason than to prove that, you know, sumo is the best fighting style, or you know, that sort of thing.
Yeah, the
You can,
movie
take
actually
that
did Honda fucking better than the game did. Yeah.
I mean, T-Hawk is, you know, there to rescue, like, one of his, you know, that girl from his tribe got turned into one of the Shadowloo dolls. That's what he's got, so. But most people are just there to fight, because it's a fighting tournament. And then the Shadowloo thing is kind of the background plot for...
I do get T-Hawk some points, though, because I think his story and Rose's story were kind of bridging together by the time Super came out, so that was kind of interesting. I think they could have taken that a little further, but I don't know. I would like to see...
T-Hawk got shat on a bit unfairly. I've always kind of liked him, but he is the Shiva of this franchise.
Yeah, just a lot of denim. That's kind of what's been holding him back all these years, you know? It's a bunch of denim.
Does Cammy have a projectile?
I don't know.
She does not, no. Never has.
Why doesn't she... Does anyone just use a gun in this game?
T-Hawk.
T-Hawk uses a gun?
Yeah.
Is this Street Fighter 4?
Yeah.
He didn't use a gun back in Turbo, did he?
Yeah.
I don't know what that
T-Hawk
noise
has
was.
always busted tracks.
No, it's just an ongoing joke in the community that T-Hawk uses a gun.
I've heard this joke, actually, but it's not real?
Probably not.
Okay.
I wish he did. That would give him something other than, like, just jabbing.
But, like, no one uses a gun, though, right?
Chun-Li whips out a gun in one of her intros with Bison in Alpha 3, but she's never actually fired it.
Everyone should whip out a gun at Bison. I mean, damn. But, yeah, like Cammy, who doesn't have a projectile. I'm not saying that Cammy needs a projectile.
Grenades, but nobody uses a gun.
I feel like Cammy should use a gun.
They let a guy in the ring with a fucking mask and a claw. At this point, I think all bets should probably be off.
Yeah, Cody has his knife, right?
Always somehow just lying around.
It's very convenient.
And yet he throws rocks much harder than he can hurt anybody with that knife.
Because people expect the knife.
Well, I like that, like, Cody is supposedly, like, even more badass than Ryu in power, and that's why he leaves the cuffs on.
Because he's bored. Wants to handicap himself. I'm seeing a trend.
I always thought you just couldn't get him off.
How bad is that, though? For, like, half the fighters out there who want to prove that their style is the best in the world and that they're the strongest. There are some here because... bored. Don't know what to do.
If done
I'm the
right, it could be a
best.
really interesting
like,
kind
Cody's
of
not
angle.
even like
It's a real undercut that the people who are working so hard to be the best have absolutely no fucking chance. Because they're going to be up against these people who just are there for the fuck of it. Yep, guess I'll kick some ass today.
There's a real logic to it, though. If someone has nothing to lose, they fight with everything. They're never holding back. You know, they have nothing to protect. They have nothing to preserve. They're at 100%. There's a real logic to it, in my opinion.
I don't know. It's sort of the thing where, like, when I complain about an MK character being super powerful but not having an origin story to explain it, you know, that's sort of across the board how I feel about these things. Like, why is Cody so special?
You know, at the risk of being incredibly boring for a minute, I'm going to talk about reality for just a split second. Is there any like Brazilian jiu-jitsu fighters in Street Fighter? Because I'm hearing that's like the actual best or something.
Yes,
Isn't that
there is.
Oro?
Oro, not specifically, I don't think. Man, what the hell is Oro? I'm on the wiki right now, so...
Well,
I don't know shit. I'm not
they
fighting
introduced
anyone.
a new character who we haven't got to yet, who's mostly jujitsu, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think
she is specifically Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Ah,
Yeah, I think
okay.
there's
Yeah, that's what I
supposed to be a
thought.
little bit of capoeira mixed in, though.
Okay.
No, Oro
I
is
don't know the differences, honestly.
Oro is Senjutsu.
Racist.
Well, jujitsu is grappling, and capoeira is like dancey spin kicks, break dancing.
I just keep hearing from like super dude bros that Brazilian jiu-jitsu is objectively the best fighting style. So
Well, yeah, that's, you know, people who watch UFC and they think it's all about the ground game, and look what happened to Ronda Rousey.
Well, in real life, there's only the ground game, unfortunately. Like, that's the sad part.
I know. I wish there was an air game and a zoning game.
I just want to walk into a back alley and just see two guys going at it, repeatedly walking forward, crouching and trying to kick each other like in the shins and the ankles. The ground game. The real ground game.
It would be cool to see, like, Holyfield outzone Tyson, but unfortunately. That's just not the world we live in, unfortunately. But,
Oh man.
I guess final thoughts on Cammy. Like I said, I don't like saying someone should be in because they're iconic, because I feel like in MK we took that way too far. But this is an instance where I actually kind of agree with it. Cammy, I think, is very Street Fighter. She's a cosplay sensation. People like the character. She's super recognizable. I think she's a good design. Like, I don't mind showing skin when it looks cool or charismatic. You know, tasteful probably is not the right word here, but at least it looks cool. Like, you know.
Well, I saw some fan art on DeviantArt that I really liked. It's basically Cammy's traditional outfit. She's wearing the leotard and all that stuff, except she also has on a pair of camo pants. And I thought, you know, that looks really good. And it's
I think that'd
still
be
a little bit revealing, because, like, the pants are sort of, you know, like, her leotard is cut so high that you could still see sort of
It's
the
like
thighs over
Sonya's
the
thong
waistband,
back in the day.
Pants. It's sort of like the wrestler Lita with her thong.
Oh, Lita, what's up?
But, yeah, I thought that would be a good look. Like, why don't they just give Cammy some fucking pants?
I mean, I guess I'll put it this way, because me and Cyborg were having this conversation a few months ago. Let's take a character like Psylocke. If she was wearing, like, a skin-tight, like, nylon combat outfit instead of the exposed thighs, would it look as cool? Personally, I don't think it would look as cool. I think there is a real charisma to skin if you do it right, in my opinion.
Well, it depends. The thing with Psylocke is she's been wearing her outfit for so long that she wouldn't look like Psylocke anymore if she changed everything, you know, like... But on the other hand, I think, like, a skin-tight bodysuit that covers all your skin but still shows off your curves, like, I think one of the sexiest women in fiction is Catwoman.
Cool.
Yeah, I would say in the reverse is true. If you gave Catwoman exposed thighs, it would look wrong. It would look off.
Yeah.
But I don't know. With Psylocke and as with Cammy as well, I think it looks cool. I mean, I'm not trying to be like anti-feminist here. I just think cool costumes sometimes look cool, you know. But I get it.
I'm not
Like,
suggesting Cammy with pants to be like that she should cover up. I don't really care about that. I just think that it would be nice to see a little variation in what she wears from game to game.
Like Mika, well, we'll
I'm
get
pretty
to
much in
Mika.
that boat too.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends. If it doesn't look as cool, I don't know if I'd be for it. Because, like I said, there could be a charisma to sex appeal if it's done right. But there's a definite line, and one of those characters. We'll get to them soon. We'll
I
get
think.
there.
I will say when it comes to like sex appeal, I do think like it should go hand in hand with the character's personality. Like I like it when Melina shows a lot of skin because she acts like a person who's using sex to get things. Like she flirts and shit. Ken
Yeah,
is
she's a
very bland personality wise. Like the only thing she has going for her is a British accent.
And I like that voice actress a lot. I
And
think
cats.
Caitlin Glass is her
She
voice
likes
actress.
cats a lot.
Yeah,
Cammy's a
which is
cat
awesome.
person.
But the cat thing works really well in my opinion because she's an ex-doll. She's kind of a damaged soul, which is why she wears that outfit. That's what Bison put on her, I believe.
Yeah.
So I like the cat thing because it's sort of like a return to innocence. I think that works well.
It is. It's pretty well thought out, actually.
And I dig cats. Cats are cool.
I don't like cats at all. They're the worst.
I'm a cat person.
I'm a total cat. I like both, but I lean towards cats.
Cats eat people.
I agree that cats are the worst, but I'm still a cat person.
Well, dogs are attention whores, so
Yeah, they're
Cats can take care of
unrelenting.
themselves.
It's true, but it's like if you die, there's like a 50-50 chance that they'll eat you, or they might just like lay down and die next to you.
if I'm already dead, what do I care what happens to my body? I'm gone.
It's adorable to read in the paper the next day. That's what I'm saying.
I'm not going to be there to read that paper. I'm dead.
It's not about you. It's about the rest of us who still need entertainment. Would you follow me here? Your death is about my entertainment. This is America.
Well, look, if we're going to worry about what happens to us before we die, then I want it known right now that when I die, I want my grave to be a statue that reads First Man on the Moon. Because in 1,000 years, records will be fuzzy, and they might believe it.
It's a good strategy. It's a very good strategy.
I just want
Shalu, you hear that? That's you.
I just want people at my wake in clown makeup. That's all I want. Everyone in clown makeup. Being creep.
Yeah. I work at a carpet store. I had a guy
You should all
come in
go
to
as
buy
different
some
versions of the
carpet.
joke I call Mark Hamill.
He wanted to carpet his coffin with some carpet,
Nice.
so he bought some carpet from the store I work at. It's a great story. It's really sad.
All
Don't
true.
coffins usually
That's actually
come
kind of touching, really.
like carpeting inside?
Yeah, but his son's building his.
Oh, it's a homemade cart. Okay.
Yeah. The carpet was ugly, too.
I mean, it saves you some money.
Better than a pine box.
Ugly carpet. But, I mean, you're the only one who's looking at it for all of the... Whatever. Okay. Are we done with...
I think
Cammy?
we've covered
That
Cammy.
covers Cammy.
Cammy sucks. She doesn't have a gun. Got it. Okay.
Next character, we got
The sexiest character in... Oh, shit. Wait. You're right.
No, you're right. Keep going.
The sexiest character in the street fight. I don't know the other guy though. Okay. We'll take this one at a time. That's fine. That's what
So
someone
Ken.
said. Okay, Ken.
So, yeah.
Kenny.
How do we feel about the hair?
I
And,
would like it if it didn't. Well, this is a problem I have with the whole game. The art style looks like everybody's made of clay.
Yeah, it's a horrible middle ground between realism and animation. The whole game looks like putty to me. We'll probably get into that once we go.
Worse than 4, I think.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
bad.
it's Unreal, right?
This shit is bananas.
That's kind of.
B-A-N-A-N-A-S.
I was just about to make that joke. But
Bananas.
aren't they using the Unreal Engine for Street Fighter V?
I actually don't know. I
I'm
don't
pretty
think
sure they're using like the newest version of Unreal, not the shitty like second Unreal that they ever put out that NetherRealm is using. They're using a newer, better
Unreal
one, but
4, I think.
but all Unreal games kind of have that clayish look to them, like Batman.
I don't know. Like, hair at least looks like hair in most Unreal games. I mean, once the textures load in.
Well, yeah, hair doesn't usually look like bananas, so that's just on these guys.
Yeah, he definitely looks like a Gumby character. I'm looking at the pictures now. It's
Ooh,
not.
Gumby.
But the design itself, at least, like if I was looking at this like a concept art, I think he looks amazing. I love the thermo shirt.
I love the change. The change is
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, his costume actually looks really cool. And
And the hairstyle, I think, is good, but I agree, it does
It's just
look
not
like...
rendered effectively.
It is. I've seen like a billion sprites of this version of Ken that looks really good. They should level up over there at Capcom.
Capcom.
Get a Super Saiyan Bananas version of Ken now, and it's great.
Ooh, I want that. I want it.
There is not a single screenshot of Ken that has not been modified with bananas. It's kind of amazing, really.
Well,
Anyhow,
anyone play Ken ever?
I played against Ken quite a bit. I think he's really interesting. He's got really good mobility. I mean, there's a definite,
Yeah, he has a run button, right?
pretty much, yeah. Very interesting character. I like the changes, but
We forgot everybody past Ryu to mention what their V skill and V trigger does.
Well, yeah, we do.
we tried.
Cammy, we know where her V trigger is.
That's true.
Birdie's, I don't know.
He's hiding it now.
Birdie's was in his ass. I don't know.
I honestly don't know Birdie's V skill or V trigger.
Yeah, no, he goes red and blows fire or something, right?
I know
Yeah, that
Geef
was
goes
about it, I
red.
think.
I don't know. I
Geef-
can't remember.
Geef just starts taking shit tons of he
Oh,
basically
okay.
gets
It's red focus, essentially, is what it looks like to me.
Ew.
he basically kind of goes Mecha Zangief.
Yeah,
remember
that
right.
sounds about right.
Fucking robot Zangief. What's Bison's V skills? He goes super psycho?
His V skill is he can actually absorb projectiles, I believe.
Ah, that's right. What about Nash?
Nash, I know his V trigger, I think, is a teleport. His actual V skill, I have no idea.
Yeah, his awesome thing is definitely like the Nightcrawler teleport, but I don't know what his skill was.
Yeah, and I'm going to continue
Nash's
not knowing for the remaining
Nash's-
characters.
Nash's V skill is called the Bullet Clear. It extends left arm forward, from which a small vortex of light blue ki emerges. If it interacts with a single hitting projectile or connects unblocked, it will grant him a small boost of V gauge.
Oh, so he eats projectiles.
Pretty much.
But they call it a bullet clear?
Bullet Clear.
And no one uses a gun.
And no one uses a gun.
Thanks, Capcom.
He was killed by bullets, right? Is that the...
Oh, so he's scared like Batman.
If they're taking the Alpha 2 route, then yeah, he was shot in the back by a helicopter.
Well, another character that needs a gun, Ken.
He's from America.
He is.
Yeah, it's true. He's super American.
Like that should be his V skill. No, I like his V skill a lot. But if damn it, if
He's
Ken just wouldn't
actually
pull out a
quarter
thing,
Japanese. Not a lot of people know this.
That's true.
damn
His
it.
hair's dyed.
check the lore, scrubs.
Them black eyebrows. Learn it.
Yeah, that's true. He does have those giant black eyebrows.
So
His wife's pretty American, though. Holy
is,
shit.
is the name Ken Japanese or is Masters Japanese?
Masters. Masters is definitely Japanese.
I think you're right.
So wait, shouldn't his name be Masters Ken?
Yes, it should.
Or Sun Masters?
That's what Midway would or NRS would change it to now.
Masters Ken.
No, I think that he was born in America, but try bringing that up to people online. No, he's Japanese. His last name is Masters. I swear to God.
Yeah, well, Scorpion was born in Japan, and that doesn't stop him from saying his family name last.
Well, that's
Hanzo.
kind of an all of MK thing, isn't it?
I'm bitter about things. All right.
Well, listen, NetherRealm doesn't give a fuck about like actual reality and how things work. They have, their own. They have the.
It that some of them say it one way and some of them say it the other. Like it's Takahashi Takeda,
It
but it's
absolutely is.
Hanzo Hazashi. Like pick one and stick with it.
No, see, it's like I've always said. This is canon lore. Get ready, lore kids.
I'm not gonna get mad if you call him Hazashi Hanzo. I'll be all like, okay, that's what we're doing now. But fucking be consistent.
Mortal Kombat isn't happening. It's just Ed Boon as a little teenager, retarded American boy in the 90s. It's not Ed Boon, actually. It's just your average dude bro from the 90s, teenager, 13-year-old boy, imagining his version of a stupid, bad kung fu movie. That's why nothing makes sense and isn't how it actually is. It's just how a dumb American kid sees it.
Is it? Are you saying it's like that TV show where everybody turned out to be like the autistic kid's snow globe?
What are you talking about?
It was some show. I can't remember what it's called. It's a thing.
Oh yeah, you're right. It's that. It's exactly that.
Was it?
Is this even
Not Twin
Street
Peaks,
Fighter?
something else.
Any last thoughts on Ken?
God damn it, Razor! Quit changing the subject. We're talking about Ken.
So, V triggers and V skills, huh?
Yeah, Ken runs, has a run button, and then he goes aflame, right?
Yeah, I think he flame-ons for his V trigger. I think. You know, believe it or not, when I played the demo, almost no one remembers to use their V trigger. Like, no one fucking remembers to use that shit. And it resets every round. So,
Well, I mean,
Huh. Okay. This is interesting. I did not know about the fact that it modified his Hadouken like that, because this is the first time Ken will have a Shakunetsu Hadouken. Very nice.
what does that mean?
That's basically Akuma's more powered up, fiery version that knocks you down on hit.
Ooh.
it's kind of strange it took this long, considering he's the fire guy.
It is, but at the same time, they've always wanted to kind of put the emphasis on Ryu being the Fireball Master and Ken being the Shoryuken Master.
But it's kind of unfair, because Ken's not only better at the Shoryuken, he's better at the Hurricane Kick
Yeah,
as well.
the Tatsu. He's the kick guy.
He can
That's
do
it, I
things
think that-
after.
Well, that's
I
why I
think
like
that- I think that
also
Ryu's-
shot his fireballs by kicking. They should
Ryu
have
also does have, like, the Shoryuken that can fucking kill you on hit.
Yeah, that's true. He has the Kamehameha.
So how is Ken not objectively better than Ryu?
Like, in the lore, or like
Yeah,
in
no,
Street Fighter
yeah,
5?
in the lore, because he's got the kicks because of step kicking and all that shit. He's got fire in his fists because reasons. Like,
I think,
You know,
like, to
it's
answer-
debatable. It really is debatable. A lot of people give Ryu the, like, naturally stronger one character credit. I think possibly possibly because of the Street Fighter 2 animated movie that just kind of made it really seem to be that way. But they fought before in the story, and Ryu was distracted at the time, but Ken has beaten him. They have rematches all the time. Like, they're always sparring back and forth. It's not impossible for Ken to beat Ryu in a fight. They're
Well,
very
here's
nearly
the-
evenly matched.
Ken's fire thing is usually treated like some like unexpected mutant use of the Hado, and like Ryu is the one who uses like the pure, like he does the same stuff as Goken and Akuma do.
I always figured it was just Ryu was not naturally better fighter, but Ryu was the only one who's really committed to the lifestyle, while Ken kind of went on to do his own rich white American thing, while Ryu was
there's
being
that.
better.
That's true.
I could see Ken's fiery stuff being chalked up to like chaos. You know, just it kind of
Yeah,
happens and he doesn't have great control over it or whatever.
Ken's not a karate hobo.
No, he's not. He no beard for Ken. In fact, he's got his really pretty Alpha Fabio hair in this game, right? He's got his skin.
Yeah, there's
Yes.
Yeah, no, he does.
skins for both of them.
It's
And
gorgeous.
this time, they actually remembered to keep Ryu's headband white.
Yeah, Capcom. Check the lore.
White.
I just, you know what? After Alpha 3, where, like, at that point the headband was supposed to be red and they just left it white, I don't really have a lot of faith in them to remember shit, but they actually remembered this time. It was cool. It was cool.
Because he gets the red bandana from Ken, I thought, right?
Yeah.
He does. That was
Yeah,
when
it's-
Ken actually beat him in.
Ken's using it to hold his
Alpha 2.
ponytail in.
Ken is having us the most pretty hair ribbon. He's like, here you go. I just kicked your ass. Wait, who kicks whose ass?
No, it's
I'm the world's greatest pillow fighter.
Ken beats up Ryu, and Ryu's like bleeding from his eyebrow, so that's why Ken gives him the
That's
hair
right.
tie.
Chaos wins. Have a hair ribbon, bitch. That's lore. That's canon. Is that it for Ken?
That's all I got. I just to wrap it up, I think he's a great addition. I think Ryu and Ken should be in every Street Fighter game. Agree, disagree?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Wouldn't be SF without him. At least one or two of them.
There's one other character that I feel the exact same way about, and I don't think he's announced yet. Controversy.
We got some more characters coming, DLC.
Controversy.
All right. Well, I said earlier that I think they took the sex appeal thing too far with one of the characters. I thought it was balanced with Cammy. With this character,
Here
I
we
think
go.
it's absolutely ridiculous.
Here we go.
And that's Nikali.
Yes!
I don't know what the fuck they were thinking with those abs. Like, that is
Good Lord,
absolutely ridiculous.
This character is gorgeous. He really is.
His dreadlocks look like tentacles, and I don't like any of it.
Why didn't we get an upskirt of Nikali? Like, if you're gonna do like just random up shots for no reason with the ladies, come on, man. Come on, man.
Ridiculous.
Man.
You know, I really don't think sex appeal when I look at Nikali at all. Seriously, I'm just
You know
just
what?
getting that out there.
I wish like his hair, the way it goes whenever he V triggers, is the same under his skirt.
I don't know. When I look at Nikali, I see every scene of Magic Mike, and I don't know. Actually, just all jokes aside, obviously his appearance doesn't bother me. I just think this character is boring as fuck.
I just see a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Pillar Man.
Yeah, he does have a Pillar Man vibe to him.
Seriously, he's right up there with Cars and AC/DC.
Yeah, I can see it. I don't know. I played against this guy a lot in the demo, and I just don't. I mean, he's not, like, gameplay-wise, he's not horrible. He's basically like a modified Ani Akuma, is how I would describe him in terms of gameplay.
Did you say Ani?
Ani.
What's wrong with you,
Oni?
dude?
Oni.
Oni.
First we got Capcom,
Ani Ox
and now Ani. We're gonna have a talk. I'll send you an email. You'll get it on Monday.
I'll get it written up.
Oni.
Oni.
I did a Google image search of Nikali. One of these is a picture of Tarzan from the Disney movie with red Dragon Ball Z hair attached.
That seems about right.
Yeah, that's about right.
That's it.
I don't know, dude. I just don't like this character. Just because he's boring. He's very inoffensive, very plain.
Yeah,
The
well,
Super Saiyan hair is kind of cool.
oh, the Super Saiyan hair is badass. But
It's all right.
what does he have gameplay wise? Like, what's his deal?
He has like a charging claw move. He like can like
Yeah, he has
do
the Berserker
ground attacks,
barrage, right?
Like, yeah, something like that. He's got an anti-air Dragon Punch-esque move. Just
Fireball?
he's a Street Fighter character. I don't remember any fireballs now.
Well, his moves seem really boring to me for what like his story allegedly is. That he's like, I don't know, from like
We're
some.
not even really sure what he is. Possibly tied into the Illuminati, we don't know.
The rumor that I keep hearing is that he has something to do with like the Dark Hado, like he's from some islander people or some secret society that also knows about and like trains in the Shungoku Satsu style. Or
Yeah, like
That's
people were
super-
saying that he was Maori in the beginning, but then that went away. Do the sheep not belong to him?
I heard something about him like waking up after a really long sleep and now he eats souls or something. I don't know.
That sounds dope. What's wrong with that?
I
Just boring. I'm just nothing.
I could totally go for some soul after a long night of drinking and I'm hungover.
If he owns the sheep, I actually do like him better because those sheep are legit, dude.
Who are
Like,
those? Who's sheep?
when you play the game, they actually do things in the background, like
Do they
fucking.
make babies?
No, but they do sheep-like actions, which are very interesting.
Do they
Like
run off the cliff because they're dumb?
they do better things, dude. Like fucking one sheep after you do like a bread and butter combo does like the hype dance. I'm like, oh fuck yeah, that's awesome. And like fucking another sheep after you win the round, they'll do the you won a round sway like with their paws. I'm like, oh, that's fucking badass, dude. I want that sheep.
That sounds pretty
So-
good, actually.
Yeah, the
Sounds-
sheep are legit.
That sounded really dirty, though. I'm just gonna tell
It
you.
really sounded like you said nether sheep.
Another sheep.
that,
Quan sheep? No.
Guest character.
I can seriously
well,
see
we've got
Quan Chi
nether
as a
horses
sheep.
now. It's only a matter of time.
But yeah, I like the sheep way more than Nikali.
Is that his stage?
Nah, well, I mean, it's everyone's stage because in the demo, no one picks anything other than the fucking waterfall.
The thing about stages is it looks like we may be going back to the third strike way of like two characters sharing one. From what people can tell, it looks like Cammy and Birdie might have the same one, or well, we're not entirely
think-
certain.
Kareen might be the one exception to that, but for the
Yeah.
most part, I agree.
Well, I don't know. Like I've seen like the training mode that's like a it's sort of got story mode elements that flash back to Alpha. That's where the Ken and Ryu skins are from. Like, they're fighting at this stage. So,
At the sheep stage.
yeah.
Sheep aren't in Japan, are they?
Japan
Well,
might
if they're
have
not,
sheep,
they
I
should
don't know.
be.
I don't know about Japan's lore, but I don't know if sheep are indigenous to Japan.
It's a retcon.
All
They now have sheep.
All sheep are
Retcon.
entirely, completely indigenous to New Zealand and Scotland, where people fuck them.
How the fuck did
And
they
if they've
get
told
from
you
Scotland to New
otherwise, you're
Zealand?
lying. They can swim, dude. They can swim. Actually, no. It's canon that in 1885, a scientist named Mr. Wile E. Coyote fired several sheep. Some sort of misguided, half-assed attempt to consume them. I think that they wound up in Scotland. I think that's what I learned in history class.
See, that it would make sense for the reverse because Wiley got red hair. Wait,
No.
I'm thinking of Sonic the Hedgehog. What's that guy's name?
Have you been drinking?
Not tonight. What's the guy from Sonic the
Just
Hedgehog?
for the
now?
record,
Who's the
Japan
fat guy?
does have sheep.
No, the
Dr.
bad guy.
Robotnik.
It's Dr.
Yes,
Robotnik.
Dr. Robotnik totally looks like a Scottish guy. No offense.
Well, he is a ginger. I mean,
I-
you're not wrong.
Never thought of that.
So basically, just so I'm understanding, if I play the game Japan and I beat the game with sheep, I find out they're all from New Zealand. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yes.
Okay, I will check that box.
It's in the gritty and dark reboot of Japan.
All right, is that everything on Nikali? Do we feel like we've covered all bases with Mr. Nikali?
I think
Macaulay.
we've firmly established that most of us don't care all that much about Nikali.
I think he looks cool.
Again, I dig the Pillar Man thing.
I'll see where he goes.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, his moves are boring. That's the problem.
The extending hair is a little bit redinky donkey.
Oh, that
It's
hair
supposed
looks
to
so
stay
much
out,
worse
but
on
there's-
screen.
Does it?
It looks
his
really
hair is
bad.
larger than his
man.
body when he's got the shit popped.
They should just put the old Wolverine sound clips on Nikali from NBC.
Berserker Barrage!
Yeah. Then the
That'd be
characters
better.
the character's top
Let's go, Bob.
character's top tier.
He can
All
even
right,
do
well-
a pose, except instead of, like, claws coming out between his knuckles, it's hair.
Oh gosh, actually, that's not even that far off from Wolverine. Wolverine's a hairy dude, so
When's a hairy mofo?
he's basically the Jack Nicholson of X-Men. So I can kind of see that.
That's your go-to when you think of guys who have a lot of hair?
Yeah, that's generally when I think of Harry Knuckles. I usually gravitate towards Mr. Nicholson.
I think of Zangief.
He's coming up.
Yeah, we're not there
still
yet.
a ways away. We got some characters to go through. The next character is Vega.
Another pretty motherfucker.
Yeah,
The prettiest motherfucker. The prettiest motherfucker I know.
I know a lot of motherfuckers.
And here's my main. No surprise to anyone who's ever played me.
Plant that
None of
flag
you.
right now.
Well, isn't he... His moves have
Spain.
changed? Like, he's not a charge character?
He is
Vega
definitely not a
no
charge
longer
character
a charge
anymore.
character. And it's blowing people's minds. And I'm kind of loving that. Because I can be way, way, way more offensive with him now. And I was so offensive. My
I played a lot of
I play an
Vegas on the
offensive
demo.
Vega.
He's super fucking. He's almost impossible to normal anti-air now. Oh gosh, it drove me insane.
That is the way it should be. That's
Normalize
the
him.
way it needs
They-
to be.
Patches are coming. They're gonna normalize him.
No, I don't want
Confirmed.
shit-ass 4-tier Vega coming back again. Street Fighter 4 Vega was a goddamn slow as molasses abomination. It was terrible. Ugh,
I'll tell
I
you
don't-
right now, guys. Like, out of when I played the demo, and I played the demo for like a good solid, I think in total about like 6 hours. And out of everyone available, and by the time the demo was done, every character was playable by that point, except for the ones that have just had reveal trailers. But out of all the characters, the one that scared me the most was by far Vega, probably followed by Kareen. But Vega was by far the
Will you
biggest.
stop saying
competition.
Kareen? Is it supposed to be Kareen?
And that is confirmed.
That's what
Yes.
they're pronouncing it as now.
That's a verb
What?
that means spiral out of control, right?
Well, that fits. That's about right.
Well,
I don't like it.
the
Boo.
careen, as in
Do we
the,
have
like,
to s-
careen your car off a cliff, is spelled differently, but
I want to
Yeah.
point out that like we've heard announcers say Barlog in the past.
Barlog.
I have never not called him Barlog at any given opportunity.
Well, if we're going
So,
off of announcers, I
uh,
played a lot of Capcom games where it doesn't matter who I picked, the announcer fucked up and said, "You win." That's a horrible joke. I know. It's
But
okay.
it was Karen in Alpha, right?
It was. People have been calling her Karen Kanzuki for like 20 years.
People still couldn't get it right back then, though. People were saying, I think Justin Wong calls her Karen. I don't know.
Well, he's Asian.
What? Yeah, that's true.
So he's probably right. But I'm still gonna call her Karen because that's a name.
I'm just trying to go by what I heard from
She's gotta be
Sex.
right. Isn't she a white chick? She's blonde.
She's French.
Japanese.
There you go.
Okay, she's Japanese.
Kanzuki.
Why are they all doing Ken's Japanese. Everybody blonde is Japanese.
She's
No, no.
French.
Ken's American, just a quarter Japanese. Here, I'll help you with the official birth roster.
Gross.
USA, USA, Japan, 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 USA, USA, India, Japan, 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 USA, 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 Japan, Mexico,
Isn't T-Hawk
Japan,
from
Japan.
Mexico?
Yes, Mexico.
Brazil.
Yes,
Just trying
Spain.
to help out.
Thailand, Thailand. And that's it.
Speaking of Thailand, there's no Sagat in this game. Yes.
No,
That's
not yet.
No.
Not that we know
I'll get
of.
into that for sure, because I have I have a big problem with, honestly.
All right.
Or we can get
Why?
into it now. What would y'all prefer?
No, we gotta deal with who we talking about?
Vega.
We're on Vega.
Vega Trigger. What is it?
I think we'll go on, Shadowley. I'll let you take it
All
over.
right, the Vegas Trigger is the Bloody Kiss. Chucks a rose at you at really high speed, then he charges behind and slashes you up. Can it be done as an anti-air from a crouch or as an air attack when jumping forward? Oh, I'm gonna have so much fun with this.
You know, Bloody Kiss. I actually have heard that euphemism.
It's Typo Negative album, a very good Typo Negative album. Bloody Kisses.
Oh, it is. You're right. That's even more. But still, Bloody Kiss. It's gross the way I heard it.
Ew.
I don't think we need to go any deeper into that.
I'm not going any deeper into a Bloody Kiss.
I don't think we need to say the word deeper.
I like how you phrased that, sir. You're a very cunning linguist.
So
anyway, his V
some V
skill.
triggers in my day.
Wait. So what was his V trigger or his V whatever that I don't want to? No, we won't name.
Bloody Kiss.
Yeah, that. What does he do?
He throws a rose at you, and if it hits you, he like runs behind you and just slashes you the hell up.
I like it.
So yes, it's a projectile attack,
Oh,
which can be
Dudley.
used as an anti-air or as an air attack.
Now,
They
when you
gave-
say runs behind you, is it like a teleport, like he runs off screen and comes from the other side, or is it like Reptile's elbow dash?
I think we're talking Reptile's elbow dash here.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
he
when it
charges
was-
behind it.
Yeah, when it was done to me, like, it's super quick. Like, when that rose hits you, he's, like, literally flying, like, Vegas style. Like, he does his little one knee forward and slashes you. What happened is, I used Mika, and my V skill is armored for the first hit. So I'm thinking, I'm full screen. Whatever he does, it won't matter, because I'll release the V skill by the time he arrives. Nope. It's damn near a teleport move, to be honest with you. Super frustrating. And with Mika, you kind of want that V skill activated, so.
I can see this getting nerfed in the future, so that armor takes care of that, though.
Well, nerfs are coming for Vega. I have almost no doubt, because he's super
Normalize him.
normalize the shit out of him. But he's got two stances, too, which is my favorite part about him.
I just
Ooh, stances. I like stance
see,
characters.
yeah. From what I like read on the boards for a little while, I wasn't paying too much attention, but apparently the stances don't differentiate him enough, or enough to really count, enough to want to prefer one or the other for specific situations, like you would with Gen.
You know, it's rough because for maximum damage, you want to unstance your claw, because your claw is going to be great for, like, jumping in, because that hitbox is so far out there, it's extremely hard to anti-air him when he does a jump in normal claw. It's just his hitbox is too big. And it's great for pokes. Like, his neutral game is so good with the claw, But the problem is a lot of your high damaging setups, your special moves take on different properties, I believe, once the claw is unhinged. So it's not that they're both very useful. I can't really see building a strategy behind using both in combat. That's the thing, like, you're going to want to commit to one or the other. So that's the only criticism I really have with it. But it's not a criticism, I just don't know how to use the character. I only know what I've seen other people do with him.
This sounds a little like Nightwing in Injustice.
Yeah, well, I mean, the way I would describe it is if I was in the neutral game, I would use the claw stance. If I get a knockdown and I want to do like a setup, or I want to bait out a setup, I would get rid of the claw just so my special moves would have better properties, different properties, other cool stuff like that. So,
I mean, that's how I played Nightwing. It was fun.
Yeah, I have a very elementary understanding of Vega, though. I'm not really sure what those properties are once he takes off the claw, but I'm pretty sure he can't lose his claw anymore.
What? Yeah, I was about to ask
Really?
if you could actually knock him off like you could in earlier games.
I think he can lose the mask. He cannot lose the claw, I don't believe.
That's interesting. I thought he could.
What happens when you knock his shirt off?
It's too sexy.
You're probably right.
He can't believe it's not butter
He's
anymore.
Antonio.
See, like, Vega got a custom
Barbarets.
modification. Why can't Chun-Li?
Right?
And I like the shirt. The shirt really
I like
works.
the shirt too.
He looks like a
I
pirate.
agree. Shirt is a great addition.
It's more of a matador thing. It's a Spanish.
He manages to not look like a pirate. It's amazing.
I thought
It's
he looked
great.
a little piratey, but
No.
he still
Yeah,
looks.
It's the puffy pirate shirt if you're going to be all Seinfeld about it.
Yeah. It's okay. He's a conquistador.
But overall, I'm really, really excited about Vega in this game. A lot of people I was reading the reactions, they're like, "Oh God, why is Vega back? Who asked for Vega back?" And I would consider Vega to be one of the franchise's more popular characters. So I'm not surprised at this. I'm happy about this.
When I was a kid, Vega was really popular.
Guy's got a mask and a claw. He's the only one in the tournament who's clearly using some sort of weapon, and he's running around stabbing people. And because of his voice, everyone thought he was a topless girl.
See,
The guy's got kind of a legacy.
I was gonna bring that up. I was always like, I like Liu Kang because it's funny, but with guys like Vega and Fei Long, I was just a little annoyed by the voice.
He was originally one of my favorite characters, honestly. He wasn't my main when everything was said and done, because he was arcade only for the longest time, and then they released an updated version on the Super Nintendo. So, but I thought he was basically a long-haired dude with a Jason mask. That's what it looked like to me on screen. So I thought he was badass. He's all aerial and shit. But by the time I could play as Vega, which for me was Super Street Fighter 4, I had gotten so good with Ryu, and I just like doing dragon punches and fireballs, and I couldn't do that with Vega. So, yeah. By the way, Shadow, you're right. He does lose his claw. That can happen. I never did it when I was playing against Vega. I did knock off the mask, but I do believe he can still lose his claw.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing to tell me that, like, he can just switch back and forth, and, I mean, that he's powerful, but telling me that they can't even get his claw off, I mean, I'd be very, very surprised at a game from now on, going here on out, where that's actually happening.
See,
Him losing his claw is
going
kind of
that direction.
tradition.
Yeah, but I mean, there was a lot of people who have been voicing their thoughts a long time, saying they don't want him to lose the claw anymore because it's unfair that other characters can't lose their weapons. Rolento doesn't lose his plunger and shit, so.
I'm just picturing him throwing plungers diagonally.
It's a reality. They gave him a plunger costume. But
No, but
I like Vega.
Maybe
a lot.
Rolento should lose it though. I mean, it's kind of a problem.
There's a lot of reasons. I hate playing against Rolento. It's horrible on Street Fighter 4.
Cody can lose his knife if you hit him out of it. So Vega's not the only one.
Yes, that is correct. Yeah.
But, seeing as how, he's got two separate stances now, maybe losing the claw these days won't be as much of a handicap as it used to be. It'll just force you into playing one specific style with its own advantages.
Which is a good style.
Yeah.
Yeah, the reason, I'll admit, I was very surprised to see Vega. I did not think Vega was going to be in this game.
It was a happy surprise for me. When I was
it's kind of like I was like, this is a very permissible thing. I didn't really have, I'm not in the camp that's saying like, he should never be in the game. He's played out. No, I'm definitely not in that camp. At the same time, like, I really only wanted one of the World Warrior bosses to show up. And I wanted it to be either Bison or Sagat. Leaning towards Sagat, but Bison is a really good representative. I just thought that was a strange group to overrepresent. And it looks like almost
I
everyone's coming
like,
back but Sagat. Yeah?
I sort of feel the same way, and I think, like, looking at this game's roster as it came out, like, there was sort of a how much of Street Fighter 2 are they going to bring back? Because you never really know anymore, because 3 was almost none, and 4 was all. So it's like, how far in the middle are we going to be?
Well, it depends on how long you wait and how much DLC
I think
they
we
release.
got a little more Street Fighter 2 than I would have liked, and not necessarily the picks that I would have made. At least, I definitely would have had Sagat, and I think, I don't know. I mean, I'm okay with Vega. I'm not sure about Dhalsim. I would have said no to Zangief.
Yeah, Zangief and Vega actually got kind of an anti-reaction on a couple of forums. When Geef was revealed, the usual people were happy, but you had a lot of people out there going, yawn, enough grapplers already, So yeah, I would definitely have replaced Zangief, at least with Sagat. Absolutely.
I have a lot of thoughts on this, so I'm going to go really in depth once we get to Geef, because I have a lot of thoughts on Geef. But I'm not too far up from you guys by any means. But Vega's a good addition. He looks really good, and unlike fucking Geef, they updated him, which is really, I think, the winning point for Vega.
That's it, They took more chances with Vega than I think that they took with almost maybe anyone in this game. They updated his visuals, they updated his movesets, they changed the basic charge nature of the character. No more fucking diagonal charging. Down, back, down, forward, up, back, up. What the Christ is that shit? Enough. Ugh.
Yeah,
Charge
I
back, forward, I get. I can do that, but God, charge diagonal supers are the devil. And I play on not a stick, I play on a pad. I developed calluses from those.
Yeah, until I got an arcade stick, I didn't even touch Guile or Vega because I couldn't do their ultras consistently.
I still can't, depending on what side of the screen I'm on.
That's true, no, that's a good point. And even then, I never really took Guile that far in Street Fighter 4, but I do enjoy the character, of course, but yeah, I just think Vega's a great example of how you bring a character back. I think his face looks like shit. I think this is the worst his face has ever looked.
People have been having some issues with the face, it's true.
It's all the faces, honestly. All the face, almost, I'd say half the faces in this game look really bad, in my opinion.
Mm.
It doesn't bother me as much as his sausage tongue from 4 did.
Yeah, it's
seriously, that's all I saw. Just the sausage slowly leaking out from between his lips. Terrible win pose, just fucking terrible.
Okay, well, any final thoughts on Vega before we move on?
He looks good. Jury's still out, obviously, since
No, dude, Jury's in the game. She made it. It's DLC.
Dude, yeah, okay. Since you didn't know about the claw, I'm gonna say the jury's out.
I see.
Puns.
I'm gonna say the JURY is out on whether or not you can knock his shirt off.
I could be wrong. Like, I am by no means.
I think you probably are. I have a feeling he goes into a third hidden stance when you knock it off. It's sexy. The background music of the stage changes. Lights dim.
You remember his old the chain link that he could climb on?
Oh yeah.
Instead, it's stripper poles when the shirt comes off.
That would be sick.
It doesn't matter what stage you're on; they just drop down from the ceiling. Like,
exactly.
Strobe lights come on. There's a fog machine.
Like red light pulsing.
Fucking Welcome to the Jungle starts playing. I'd be all over that shit.
You in the jungle, baby.
Do you know where you are? You're in the jungle.
Okay.
Next character.
Okay.
Armika. I guess I'll start this one off. Rainbow Mika?
Who?
You might remember her from
Mika?
Alpha 3.
Oh, the boobs with the ponytail.
Yes, the boobs.
Pigtails. The ponytails.
The ponytails, plural. My bad.
Also known as dad ass.
She
Yeah,
has
yeah,
a move
no,
that
it's-
cuts a promo. Let's show some respect.
This was my main, actually, in the demo. This is the only character I use until they took her out, and I defaulted to Ryu. I really like Mika's inclusion. I think she's a cool character. I was joking earlier about the Nikali implying Mika thing. I do think they over-sexualized her. I think the leotard's a little too slim in places. It looks a little obnoxious now. I think they had a nice balance in Alpha, but it's not a deal breaker by any means. I think she's a really fun character. I love her grappling animations with the rainbow lighting. Looks really good. I'm just gonna. I don't want to brag too much, but I won the majority of my matches when I played the demo. On the second night, I was almost undefeated till the very end until I played a Vega for my last match, and then the connection went out because Capcom had to update the beta. So I had a lot of success with her. When you press her roundhouse, you can actually hold it and charge it, and it goes almost like jump screen. And you're actually at advantage. And no one knew that. Everyone thought because a lot of strong normals were punishable, that they would try to attack after that, and then I would set them up for a combo. And she's one of the few characters that can actually link from standing short. So her jumping pressure was very scary. Her damage was decent. And if they know the trick, they're like, he's at frame advantage when he charges the roundhouse. I'm just going to block. If I make that read and I know that's what they're thinking, instead of going into a bread and butter combo, I go for my grapple. And if I cut a promo on the guy earlier in the match, that could be 50% damage. It's 100% if you get the whole promo out, but no one can do that. So Mika's a very good character. She's not going to be my main when the game comes out because she's our Mika. So I'm probably going to default to another character, but she's a lot of fun. Very good game design. I don't like the double ass. I think it's just I normally like really silly characters, but it just got obnoxious for me. I wish they could have done something cooler and more charismatic instead of the double ass.
You don't like the
Thoughts?
stink
What do you
face?
guys think?
What's wrong with the stink face, bro?
Yeah.
It's classic.
I don't know that a move from the late 90s is classic.
It's a traditional Greco-Roman submission maneuver.
Are you sure?
Check the lore.
Check the lore. All right. I could be wrong.
No, she looks good. I mean, boobs aside, she looks.
Why are the boobs
Boobs up
aside?
front.
That's like
Boobs up front.
They are.
centerpiece.
They're up front all the fucking time.
Yeah, you don't want them on the side. That's a sign of like a bad surgery.
No, she's cool. She's a wrestler. I keep wanting to hear the John Cena theme and the meme go on. It's like she's got 3 syllables in her name. He does too. Just make it happen, Capcom.
And her name is Armika.
I'll play.
No, I mean,
I'll buy a
yeah.
PlayStation 4 for that. That's all.
I'm happy Baby got back.
No, me too.
In several ways.
Well, as much as I love professional wrestling, I can't not enjoy everything she does. Basically, she has a tag team
kind of a
partner,
joy.
that she cuts a promo.
Which is actually really cool and useful because she has 1 hit of armor. So when you start cutting the promo, unless you're fucking Vega, the opponent usually has to guess when you're going to release it. So you can kind of time that 1 hit of armor. Now, as the game gets more sophisticated, it's not going to be as useful. People are going to find more strategies to bypass that 1 hit. But she throws the mic at you, and that does a hit of damage. So if you put them in stun, you can kind of, pressure off of that. And what I did one night, because I just couldn't get any matches because during training mode I wasn't connecting to anybody, so I just cut all her promos just to see what she would say, and I think they're actually pretty well written. Like they're actually really cool and funny. I named this character in the demo for a reason. I do like the character, and I think butts are underrepresented in fighting games anyway. I think boobs get too much credit. I think it's time for a butt character. I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, no, I'm for the but the fact of the matter is though I think once it got to the super move I'm like that's when
Two
the
butts
line.
is a butt too far.
Yeah, no, it's too much butt. That's the butt line that I've drawn in the sand.
Too
So-
booty for you.
Yeah, no, it's yeah.
It's too much jelly. We get it.
Yeah.
I think she's an amazing character on the whole. Really,
Oh,
really
say
great
more,
update to her Alpha 3 form and hilarious, bombastic. Bombastic is a word I very seldom use, but bombastic suits her quite nicely.
It does.
Fun,
It's-
good.
I agree.
Again, like I was saying before, I regret the lack of camera focus on the ass slap. Not for fan service reasons, but it just seems like such a part of her character, a thing she will do, a wrestler's signature, drawing attention to it. It's like someone tapping the elbow before they're about to do an elbow drop, you know? And it's kind of a shame to see that gone.
There's an actual taunt in the WWE games where the girl slaps her ass, like Mika does.
Yeah, it's a thing. People are just afraid of butts. They should not watch any Ace Ventura movie.
I am very thrilled to have Mika back in this game after series after so long, and we'll get a little bit more to that when we talk about Zangief in a little while because I have a lot to say about that.
Doesn't she do a botched power bomb?
Yeah,
If I knew what that is, I'd agree or disagree.
Yeah, I don't know wrestling moves, man.
it's almost a pile driver. Like she drops
Right.
them right on the back of their neck. In
That's how
real
you-
life,
That's how you
it
don't
would
do
be
that.
really like. There's a
Okay, that's all. I didn't go anywhere. I just was pretty
You
sure
don't-
I saw like a signature Kevin Nash power bomb in there, and I was like, that's cool.
well, it wasn't the jackknife. It was
It was one of the jackknives.
I'm sure he's done it wrong plenty of times, but what I'm thinking there was a Japanese guy, like it was called the Gonzo bomb or something like that.
Oh god, those Japanese dudes, they can get away with shit.
Mm.
They're good at it. They know what
I
they're
just
doing.
remember it was in No Mercy,
Oh,
which all these years later still remains the best wrestling game of all time.
it's the best. Objectively, the best.
Yes.
Armika, good.
Just to throw this in there, one thing I think of when I think of Armika is that I'm super relieved she was not in Super Street Fighter 4. Because if she had been like the 38th character to be downloaded into that game, I think it would have been very lackluster. I really feel bad for fans of Hugo, even Poison.
Well, the thing about most of the last run of
Elena,
DLC
too.
characters is
Yeah.
they were all from SF Cross Tekken.
Copy
yeah,
paste.
which is a stigmatized game. Well, not unfortunately, it deserves every stigma it has, but yeah,
Except for-
just
Except for
Yeah.
DiCaprio, who was just, sort of decrepit.
yeah. Well, even that. Oh God, I'll probably go into this a little later.
It
But
had
one
good
problem
netcode,
I
didn't
have-
it?
For 2009,
Okay.
Yeah.
like it's not bad. It's workable.
Probably
It's not-
better than Mortal Kombat's.
Yeah, it's not MKX bad. It's not even Injustice bad.
Alright,
Like
cool.
it's definitely a grade above. But the biggest problem I had with Ultra Street Fighter 4 is there were so many matchups, and they introduced so many characters like DiCaprio who don't play like orthodox Street Fighter characters. So learning matchups just became such a pain in the ass. And when characters start having option selects, where things that are supposed to not be safe become safe when you input them because they don't come out if you do the option select, then it's just like it made learning the matchup that much harder. So it made me not want to play the game anymore. It's like there's so much bullshit in this game. I have to learn so much shit. I remember listening to a Combat Tune podcast, and Slips was saying, the problem with Tekken is it got so many characters, so you can grind out matchups all day, and then fucking show up to a tournament and get beaten by the panda. Like that's a problem. Like because you can't learn 48 matchups at 100%. You just can't do it. So. I feel really shitty for people who like characters like Hugo and even DiCaprio and had to deal with sort of the final days of Street Fighter 4 where everyone online is a killer. And if you want to go to a tournament, you're going to go 0-2 almost automatically. That sucks, but But yeah, Mika was not in Street Fighter 4, so she had a really, really good showing in this game so far. I think they did a great job on our Mika. I won't main her because she'd probably be like number 4 in characters I want to play, but I think she's a really cool character. Really glad to see her. She's one of Ono's favorite characters, I think.
Yep, one of his absolute best ones.
Well, she's definitely popular because I know, like, she's been in, like, she's had at least a cameo in every Udon series.
They love her in
Which
the
is
comic
weird
offices.
for a character who until now was only in one game.
Any final thoughts? Any last thoughts on Mika?
Burn, burn, burn.
And her name is Armika!
It even sounds the same when you scream it.
does.
It does. Make it happen, Capcom.
This is a wrestling reference, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorta. Sorta.
Didn't Cyborg send you that?
No.
It's sort of it's a YouTube meme. It's like,
Yeah.
I think Cyborg sent me that.
well, I know he put it in like the Skype chat for all of us.
Shadaloo might have been smoking.
Probably.
The internet sent me that.
Yeah.
Like, it's been everywhere.
It's basically this these guys on the radio like prank call this lady on behalf of her husband. They keep trying to like advertise tickets to WWE Super Slam, and like they keep calling her back, and then they'll pretend to be someone else, and then all of a sudden they'll yell John Cena,
She gets so pissed.
I see. Okay.
and every time
It's
they
good,
yell,
like-
the theme song starts.
Hook me up
playing.
later. Hook me up later.
Yeah, I'm not a modern wrestling fan, and I was dying when I was
No,
watching.
it really doesn't have anything to do with wrestling. I thought it was so funny because A, they kept doing it, but
Yeah.
B, because like there was a backstory that I wanted to hear. Like she said something like, "We're done with wrestling in this house. Don't call
Like,
here
you can't
anymore."
watch that here anymore.
Which is never
again.
explained.
Yeah, I was like, "What happened with wrestling in your house that made
We
you
have-
so pissed?"
We have no idea what the lore is behind that, and that
The
drives
lore.
me nuts.
Fucking somebody Wikipedia it for me.
Let's see. Wrestling, household, done with probably a dead child.
Yeah.
That got
No,
dark.
it's probably just like she's real uptight, and she's like, you're not gonna watch that.
Well, then that dude needs to like leave.
That's so
It's
dark.
that is
That's a
kind
real
of
person.
that's a deal breaker, yeah.
No, I mean, like, if he stole our credit cards and, like, ran up the bill with something not WWE Network, because that's not that expensive, but if he
Well,
paid
maybe
full
the
price
fact
for
that they were
pay-per-views and shit,
Pay-per-views
like,
are still.
and
Well,
he
if
was
you
like,
listen to the prank call, it gets cheaper every time they call her. Like, it goes down like $10, like twice, I think.
she was pissed.
The next character is pulling up my list.
Oh, this guy.
I believe it's Rashid.
Yes, Rashid is indeed the next character.
Best new character? Best new character.
Yep,
Yeah,
I agree with that.
I dig him. He knows power levels. He's got a scouter.
He's the bastard
know why,
son
but-
of, like, Andy Bogard and Joe Higashi, and he wears a scouter. What is not to love about this?
He might be the closest thing we'll ever get to Fujin, so we should probably enjoy Rashid while we have him now.
Ay,
That's what I'm saying.
don't talk about Fujin.
it's a warrior shrine tradition. We can't not.
You're
bitch
you're
about
absolutely
Fujin.
right. That is a Warriors Shrine tradition. At the end of every episode from now on, intentionally, I'm going to do that, not just accidentally.
Where's Fujin? Where is he?
I hast thou
But I
forsaken
agree-
a spoon.
I love Rashid. I think he's an amazing character. He's one of the few demo characters I actually did mess around with a little bit because I couldn't get matches, and they accidentally released him prematurely. So I'm like, okay, I'll mess with him. I didn't really like the way he played. He feels kind of stiff and all over the place at the same time. Didn't feel like I had a lot of control with the character. Mika felt a lot better to me. So, but I'm still going to try to give him an honest try. Like, I think he's a good character. I think he looks cool, and I don't know. Like, I love Hakan as well. Hakan was a great Middle Eastern character, but I mean, it's two sides of the same coin, I guess. You know, you have your silly, wacky, oily stuff, and then you have your sleek, scouter, windy stuff. I think it's all nice.
I mostly like Hakan. How the hair?
It's the craters, really. I don't even mind the hair. It's just the craters.
It's craters and it's neon blue.
I've always just felt like he stole a defective
good.
Mega Man helmet and put it on.
Like, all of his daughters
That's
have
good.
that hair, too, and theirs looks like a helmet. Like they're all wearing bicycle helmets.
Yeah, like Charlotte said, they look like Mega Man helmets, and I don't think it's a bad thing. It's just the dome craters. That's the only thing I don't like about it. But yeah, I like Hakan a lot, and I like Rashid a lot. I generally like Middle Eastern characters. Like, I can't think of a counterexample to that right now. Not much to say. I love wind attack. I love wind powers. Like,
Would you play Jafar in a fighting game?
yes.
I would too.
I mean Jafar all day long.
If there was a Disney fighting game, I think Jafar would probably be my main.
I can't think of another like character that would come even close to Jafar.
I
Like,
agree.
I think he'd play like Billy Kane.
He would play like Billy Zane.
that would be
No.
even better. Oh my
Can
god!
he play
that'd be
like them
so-
both, please? Can there be a fighting game with Billy Zane as Jafar?
You know, if you look at Billy Zane's
You'll get a
personality in
movie where
Titanic,
Billy Zane plays Billy Kane.
This is too much for me. I'm gonna need another break.
but Jafar's personality basically is Billy Zane's character from Titanic, so it's not even a stretch. Like, it's pretty much the same
He
bullshit.
just needs a sidekick
not
named
wrong.
Lovejoy. Oh, and he's staff tier.
Said
Unanimous.
God,
Across the board,
Prince Abu.
Jafar is
He
OP.
does use the staff, that's true.
God, staff tier character's the best.
Like have Iago as like a projectile attack that like can I don't know drop bombs on you from the I don't know.
Ooh,
I could
an
say it.
assist.
It's like Puggles, Quan Chi's bat.
That's right.
I can see Scar playing in like a Blanca, but before we get too into like Disney villain fighting games, Rashid, V skills. He got two of them.
Now that you said Scar, now I'm just upset that Jeremy Irons isn't voicing more video game characters.
I maintain
I feel
he'd
your
have been the
pain.
best. He had been such an amazing Shinnok. He really would have been.
Mm.
Not that I'm disappointed with who we got, but
Who did we
opportunity.
got? We got Troy Baker. That's right. I knew who it was. Never mind. It's all good.
Wait, he's Shinnok too?
Yeah.
I know he's Aaron Black.
He's Aaron Black and Shinnok.
Ah,
He has range.
he does have range.
And he's that dude from Shadow of Mordor.
Martyr.
Yes, so.
Mordor.
Murder.
I just like saying it wrong. It's funner that way. And I said
One
funner
does not
too.
simply pronounce Mortar.
What? Mordor.
Thank you. So, V skills.
What are
Rashid.
his?
in the land of murder where the shadows lie.
His trigger is really cool. I don't remember what his V skill is, but his trigger is really awesome.
He has two V skills. He's got a front flip and he's got a rolling maneuver, which he can like cancel into a kick out of, and he can do a little dive kick from the front flip. So yeah, it's all about closing the distance with him.
That sounds about right. I mean, I played against quite a few Rashids, and they were kind of all over the place, so which is cool. I like that style, you know. But I really wish I had more to say. I think he's a really good character, but I love wind powers like a lot. Like that's my favorite element. But I can't think of anything to really contribute.
I hope there's a Captain Planet fighting game one day.
Oh fuck yeah!
Wind!
Water!
It was the Swedish one, right? Who had wind?
Heart.
I thought that she was Asian.
No, she was
Oh.
Russian. The wind chick was Russian.
Oh, it's disappointing because I'm Swedish by
We
descent,
have a
and I thought we
controversy
had something
here.
going.
Is she really sweet? Or what did you say? Russian?
Russian.
Are you sure?
Linka was Russian.
I'm checking the lore. Fuck you.
I'm already googling Captain Pollution, so you don't have to.
Is that a thing?
Yes, it's a thing.
Captain Pollution was the evil Captain Planet.
God damn it, I gotta watch the show all over again.
He had his own Bizarro or Reverse Flash.
It's like it makes sense, right?
Every superhero's got to have one.
Planeteers. Earth, fire, and wind.
And water.
And,
And
heart.
heart.
I was talking about the band.
Well, stop it.
That's Earth,
They
Wind,
don't
and
summon
Fire.
Captain Planet.
I
They're 3/5 the way.
Said it out of... Ooh, that was a Deke cartoon. I miss those guys. I was like 2 years old and I still giggled at the end of all of
You
them.
love Deke?
Deke. They said it, buddy. Shut up.
Yeah.
You guys
That made me laugh.
can continue talking about Rashid. I'm just gonna read about.
I don't really have anything else to say. I like the character, but there's not much to talk about.
Yeah, he's got a scouter. I don't know why.
Yeah, no, it's. I wish it was like red or blue, but I don't think green works as well.
Because it's a scouter. Scouters are green.
I know, but
Check
it's just
the lore.
God damn it, Razor, you were right. She's from the Soviet Union.
For those who are curious, super radiation, deforestation, smog, toxic, hate. By their powers combined, he's Captain Pollution.
Oh shit! There's really 5 pollutioneers.
Yes.
hate.
Toxic an adjective? How did that happen?
It's super radiation, deforestation, smog, toxics, and hate.
That's what I was asking.
Oh,
That's what I was
toxic,
wondering. Like,
plural.
someone's
Yes.
whole energy is deforestation.
I really don't think those add up as the opposites of the 4 elements.
Hate.
Well, hate
What would they be,
as
heart?
opposed to heart. That's kind of fair.
The opposite of wind, smog.
See,
Yeah.
I don't remember the specifics of who created him or who the pollutioneers were, if there were.
I feel like the opposite of fire. How does that?
It's deforestation.
The thing I'm getting at, though, is like, everyone remembers Hart because Hart was the useless one who always needed saving. What does
that's-
Hate do? Just sit in the corner and be angry all the time?
I don't remember if I've said this on the air before, but my favorite moment of all time in a Captain Planet episode was when I finally learned what the heart ring is supposed to do. Apparently it's meant to mind control animals, except one time he tried to use it to stop a stampede and they didn't listen. So it doesn't actually work.
Oh,
That's so
Beautiful.
bad.
isn't that crazy? That was like used as a superpower so often way back when, and that just went away. Animal control.
Yeah,
Because
but,
everyone
I mean,
saw what happened to Aquaman and they took notice.
Not fast enough. He was around for a long time before people was like, yeah, maybe animal mind control is not awesome.
Well, the thing about Aquaman is you have to be in the water for it to matter.
I guess that's true.
That's like my people who are all like, no, Aquaman is totally badass in the comics. Like Super Friends just gave him a bad rep. I'm like, they always go, he's king of like 90% of the planet, and I'm all like, yeah, the 90% nothing fucking happens in.
Yeah, no one lives in 90% of the planet.
He
The Atlanteans
he's
live in
he's gonna
90%.
stop scuba divers from treasure hunting sunken ships. That's all he's got.
Isn't he supposed to be like super strong like Namor?
Well, no, yeah, he's super strong. He's like bulletproof because he has to live at the pressure of the bottom of the ocean.
Right.
But
So he's got that going for him as long as you keep him
well, who
moist,
fucking
right?
cares? The place he protects never gets attacked.
Unless he can use his cunning and his guile to lure them a
Imagine
sea.
the superhero of Portland, Oregon.
Seafood.
It's about the same.
Shrimp.
Like, there's crime in Gotham. I care. Fucking.
Well, you know what? He's protecting the ocean now from that thing that South Park accused the Japanese of.
In all fairness to Oregon, that's where the Transformers crashed.
Oh.
I thought they crashed in Washington.
Depends on your continuity.
It was like a parody version of Mount St. Helens or whatever.
Well,
It was like Mount St. Hilary, I think. Hang
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
where did Shia LaBeouf live?
I think he lived in California. I'm just assuming because it's a Michael Bay movie,
That's
it looks
right.
like California.
Check the lore, everybody. So Rashid,
Yes.
Yeah.
he's got an eye patch, right?
Yep.
That's kind of a Bluetooth Google Glass looking thing.
For the record, I still think Rashid is awesome. We just apparently don't have much to say about him, but we're talking about Captain
I-
Planet.
I like Rashid. I'm not.
I like
I'm not-
Rashid. I like Rashid. I think he sees special things in that islands of his. I like eye patches. It's good. He has a
I think we
backpack too,
know
right?
more about Rashid.
Yeah, he's got a backpack.
Okay, yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Eye patch,
Like, is
backpack, he
he
wins.
Is he the new Honda? Is he just showing up to the World Warrior Tournament to fight, or does he have a reason?
No, he's out to save a friend of his, and one guess as to who kidnapped him.
Shadaloo? Is it Shadaloo?
I would have also accepted Bison.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yes.
Bison, but I didn't want to sound stupid if I was wrong.
I was actually gonna say Birdie.
Oh, so he's actually the new T-Hawk. He's there for the
Yes.
doll. Or something.
Oh.
Bison just goes around wronging every single person he meets. That's,
Well, he's kidnapped like 13 women from around the world. I imagine some of them are missed.
He has that smile where it's a smile like he literally just stole candy from a baby kind of smile, like all the time.
What
like
the fuck smile is that?
it's when all like 20 something of your teeth are showing. Like
Oh,
it's
Bison,
not-
you mean? You talking about
Obviously,
Bison?
You've never known the joy of stealing candy from a baby.
I haven't either. But apparently,
I'll cross my arms after I do it if I ever do
The
it.
smug sense of satisfaction you get when you do it is unmatchable. I cannot.
I'll have to add this to my
Describe.
bucket list right now.
It's worth doing once. Next character, we got Karin.
If you want to say it like that.
I do.
I don't approve.
I will.
Okay.
This I actually do have a lot to say about, but who does anyone want to go first here?
I like her curls. They look good.
very glad to have her back. Now maybe people can shut up about her. Just saying.
That's
Just
kind of
saying.
where I was going. I was thinking like a lot of characters with big fan bases did not get their characters in this game. She's kind of the one shining exception. Not that Mika doesn't have a big fan base, but Karin's is much bigger. Like people have been asking for Karin since Vanilla Street Fighter 4, and they've been incredibly vocal. There was a copyright issue, I think. But the reason why she wasn't even a candidate for Part 4 is I think someone had some share in the rights on the character.
That's why they
It's
changed
kind of
her
like the
name.
is,
Strider Hero situation.
No, her name. Well, okay. Well, her name has actually remained spelled the exact same way. Karen originally appeared in a manga called Sakura Ganbaru before she ever showed up in Alpha 3. So
Oh, okay.
Capcom did not create the character. So there might have been some legal wrangling and loopholes that they had to get through in order to get her back.
Yeah, it makes sense. So I get the wait, but again, this goes back into Mika territory. I am so glad she did not show up in Street Fighter 4. So glad, because we get this beautiful debut now. You know, and the
Gives her the
magic
chance to
Karin
make her
coming
mark.
back.
Yeah, it does
Exactly.
mean more.
And overall, I think her appearance is very good, except for her face. I think her face looked way better in Alpha, and I think it looks awful now. But the rest of the design is perfect. This is a great way to make a character look more reserved and conservative. You know, I think this is doing it right, in my opinion. I think she's a great design. Redesign,
Yeah,
I should say.
I like her. I like the classy dress.
It's a very good visual update.
Whatever.
That laugh is god tier.
Yes,
That
it
laugh
is.
no fucking joke.
They didn't-
That is a badass laugh.
If she had like one defining moment from Alpha 3, it was that fucking laugh. And they came back and they nailed it hardcore.
Like,
Absolutely.
it is so trolly, and I love it. It is beautiful. And yeah, it's a shame that Q and Alex couldn't follow suit. Although Alex is a very
getting
complicated
there.
situation.
We're
Yeah,
getting
that's
there.
a very interesting one. But Q, oh man, what do Q fans have to fucking do to get their character, man?
We must bang our fists against the ground in ducking fierce punch style and protest angrily like the walking coffee percolators we are.
Yeah, I think if we just show up in Japan in brown trench coats and metal masks and
Start chasing
walk the
crowds.
offices of Capcom.
Well, I mean, the way I see it is Q fans were saying before Street Fighter 4 came out, whose dick do we have to suck to get Q in this fucking game again? And then now the Street Fighter 5 data mining leak comes out, and they realize they've been sucking the wrong dick for all these years, and they're probably in a really shitty situation now because of that. Like, what do they have to do? It's a good question. Like, what do we have to do for Capcom to prove that we want this character back, you know? I don't know. I don't have an answer to that.
I don't. Good luck. I mean,
Neither do I. And yet Balrog. And yet Barlog.
Barlock.
Over and over. With the Barlog. With the fight money. With the bippity boppity. What the fuck? I'm tired here. So, yeah. Karen. V skill. lunging forward with devastating palm strike that dissipates projectiles and knocks down if it connects and builds the V-trigger gauge. And you can delay it for a split second. Very nice. And her trigger, she gets access to the Gurren Ken attack. Was that her Rekkas in Alpha 3?
I never played Alpha 3.
I
couldn't tell you.
I think that these are her Rekkas, because I remember hearing that she did not have these as part of her base moveset. And I can actually really see this as making a lot of sense, because she has a lot of variations on what she can do coming out of those Rekkas. And it is, again, upon reflection, a good thing that she debuted here without Fei Long. Really does help her stand out away from him and his. So she's able to, after the initial few, go into an overhead, a low sweep, a flying throw, more quick strikes, or a backdash. Pretty sneaky.
Yeah, it's a shame. I really wanted to play her in the demo, but again, I wanted to stick to one character so I can be as competitive as possible. And Mika seemed like the easier of the two. And honestly, Mika and Vega were the only two available when the demo first launched for the second trial. So I missed out on Karin completely. I really do like the character a lot. She was almost on one of the candidates for me to main. But I found out Praetor was going to main Karin. So I'm like, scratch that off. Because, I mean, Praetor will tell you I hate mirror matches. Like, a lot. Like, one of the reasons I wasn't really big on Cross Tekken, beyond all the problems that game had, was because I mained Julia and Praetor mained Julia better, so I'm like, there's no point. I'm super sentimental when it comes to fighting games, so if I have to train against a mirror, it's really demotivating for me.
Yeah, I can see that.
Cool character though. Like I like this is kind of like how Mika, I thought they kind of overdid it. Like, this is the perfect balance. Like, this is trolly, but kind of cool still. At some point, Mika's kind of silliness stopped being cool, I think. You know, it definitely did not strike that balance that they did with this character. So, yeah, good to see her back.
Deliberately over the top, whereas... And there's an audience for that, and you don't necessarily have to fall into it. It's not like she's, Bo Raicho or something.
Yeah, I feel like the audience for Mika is the fan servicey audience as well, and I think the over the top peeps are kind of a smaller voice in the crowd. Yeah. And our Mika is still fan servicey. That hasn't changed. So I don't know. I'm probably going to play Mika more than I'm going to play Karin just because I'm better with Mika now, but I love that style, Yang was supposed to be my main until I finally dropped Ultra just forever. I decided I was done. And I really do like the Rekka style. I like the mind games of Rekkas, so it is really cool, but yeah, that's pretty much all I have on her. Any other thoughts? You want to add anything?
I've said my piece.
Yeah, she looks good to me. That's all I got. I don't know that I'd pick her up, but I'm not opposed to her in any way, shape, or form. If I had one complaint, I guess it would be I tend to think of her as a rival of Sakura, so it bothers me that Sakura's not in.
Matter of time. Just a matter of time.
Mm.
I can see Karen being in a game where she's not, but it's not going to happen.
I don't know if Sakura is a matter of time, to be honest with you. Because I feel like the 6 characters, from what we understand from today's interview, actually, are going to occupy the entirety of 2017. So in 2018, I mean, this game, I don't know if it's going to pull in the same dough that Street Fighter IV pulled in. I don't know if it's going to have the same longevity. I mean, I think in the tournament scene it'll have the same longevity. I don't know if financially they're going to put more than, say, 28 characters in this game. I don't know if we're going to see a season 2.
I have a very hard time believing in the concept of a world where there will not be an Ultra Street Fighter V, no matter what they say.
Well, I think you're right.
Arcade Edition was supposed to be the last iteration.
Well, maybe this time it kind of matters. I mean, what I'm trying to say is like that it could be a money thing now, because the only reason this game is getting made is because Sony is throwing cash at them. And that well might run dry after the game comes out, which could prevent them from making a Super.
Maybe. If it does well enough, though, I don't see why Sony would stop.
It's hard to say. This game is a giant unknown to me. I don't know how well it's going to do, to be honest with you. Among even the tournament scene, like, everyone has spent so many years getting good at Street Fighter 4 that a lot of people are going to be... There's a big debate going on right now. Should EVO drop Street Fighter 4 and only have Street Fighter 5? I actually have a lot to say about that. I'm not going to say it here because I'm going to try to create a separate segment for that. But it's hard to say how successful this game is going to be. It's really difficult to tell. So I don't know.
It's a money hat.
I hope so. I'm definitely rooting for it. I want it to succeed, and I like Sakura. I definitely wouldn't mind seeing Sakura back. If I had to pick 5 characters that have to be in this game after the initial 22, I don't know if I'd put Sakura in there. Not for my own preference, but just like what I imagine the fan demand is right now. I think I could find 5 characters who probably have a higher demand than Sakura.
I absolutely could too. But you're forgetting one thing. Barlog.
That's a good argument. He's got you.
I mean, I can't really argue with that. I guess I kind of know why Fuck.
Yeah.
I know why Boxer's in this game. A lot of it is his tournament legacy.
It's
a lot of high-level, high-profile
It's because there's a game mechanic called Fight Money. The only reason.
Does Mike Ross work for Capcom these days?
No, he works for Twitch.
That's right, works for Twitch. Okay, I know he was a fan of Bard, whatever the fuck we're calling him.
Not really, no.
Is he not? Then who was?
No, Gutex is a big Balrog.
Oh.
Gutex played.
I'm sorry.
Balrog.
Mike Ross likes
Ross
Honda.
is all Honda and Hugo. Yes.
Yes, big body characters. Gotcha. Okay, cool. Which, speaking of those,
Are you speaking of those?
No.
Please finish the sentence.
well,
Big booty characters.
that's Tim's job. He sets up the character, but
Oh, yes.
you
Oh,
and I
okay.
we don't have the Pip and Jordan thing going on tonight, man.
You had me in suspense. I thought you were going to say something very interesting and important,
I was
but I'll
setting
go
up the
on.
assist, and you just killed it.
The next character... Well, let's try again. Do it.
Speaking of big body characters,
We got Zangief next.
no one cares.
Yeah, no one gives a fuck. Zangief is
He looks
very-
great. I don't give a shit though.
He looks so much like Zangief. It's amazing.
Yeah,
With this animation style, this is the best a character could look. Like, this is the only design that doesn't bother me, but they didn't update him at all.
Well, that's not entirely fair. That's not entirely true. He's got what the fuck? I'm looking it up because he certainly does have a lot of what the fuck. All right, the V skill is the Iron Muscle, which is EK. Yeah, it can absorb 1 attack with recoverable health.
Oh, well, this is gameplay, though. That's different. Like, everyone...
if you're talking visually, then yeah,
Yes.
no.
Yeah, no, gameplay, he's very different. He lost his green hand, which
Oh,
a lot of my
no.
geek friends are very for. They're happy about that. I don't know how I feel about that personally, but I'm mixed on that. But go on.
Who's going where?
Yeah, basically,
Oh,
it's
cool.
yeah. He lost the green hand because of the V skill, which is the Iron Muscle, which will let him absorb an attack, and that'll basically be it. And he can walk in and close in on them as he's doing this thing.
Oh no,
So that's it.
that sounds scary.
That's
though.
why I don't have. It is scary. It should be very scary.
I'll
Losing
say
the green
this.
hand, not the end of the world.
It's actually a good thing, honestly, because I don't think a character with that much up-close damage potential should be able to get in that easily. I honestly don't believe that's a horrible idea. But just visually, it was his coolest move, in my opinion. Like, I liked the green hand. It was green.
It was a trademark, but it was not the trademark account.
It was just cool. I like big glowing green hands. I think they're tight. You know.
Are you into Reptile too?
He was my favorite character in MK2 when it first came out.
How do you not like him? He's green.
He's cool. No, I do like Reptile. Well, dude, have you played MKX? Is he green? Is he really green?
He's green.
He's not that green.
He's pretty green, dude.
He's really not that green.
Well, you know, if I can stay on topic, fucking Tim, Jesus Christ. Well, no. Let's finish talking about his gameplay. I want to do that. Does he have any other special new awesomeness?
All right, so his V trigger is the Cyclone Lariat, where in a really hilarious, straight out of Looney Tunes fashion, he'll start spinning around with his head not moving and still facing you.
Ew.
Like, he basically turns into a tornado with his head sticking out of it, spinning forward.
Exorcist?
No. His head remains in place. The rest of it is just spinning like a tornado.
Reverse Exorcist.
Yeah, kind of. So, if the V trigger buttons are tapped, he spins quickly and sucks them in. If they're held, he'll do a multi-hitting attack. Again, very, very potentially lethal.
It's so funny that, you know, he's spinning.
He's spinning.
He's got those dance moves, man. He's so fabulous.
I just wish I cared. I actively dislike the fact that Zangief's in this game because of just how great Rainbow Mika's opening was, and I figured if there was going to be one grappler face for this game to give her to give it a fresh new, we're really, really not trying to be Street Fighter 2 again look, that would be it, you know? That would be her. Mika would be the grappler for this game. Nope. Here's Old Faithful.
I think from Capcom's point of view, Mika's actually replacing El Fuerte.
That saddens me to no end.
I think it's interesting because El Fuerte was strongly based on Alpha or Mika, from what I understand. But they changed Mika so much that in terms of mobility, she feels very different than Fuerte to me. Because they both have mix-ups, but they're very different mix-ups in my opinion.
Well,
Also, Fuerte was
partially
obnoxious. What's up?
Based partially on Mika in Alpha 3. She never had any, like, real aerial maneuverability like he did, but she did have the back and forward running height.
You would definitely know better, because almost everything I know about Alpha is word of mouth, and what I've read on event hubs. So yeah, that's absolutely fair.
Maybe they should have just given Fuerte a gun.
Man, tell you the truth, guys, we don't need to replace Fuerte. That style of gameplay is just horrible. Like, the reason I think Blanca is not in this game is because they were trying to reduce the number of scrub killers. Characters that aren't actually that amazing, but if you don't know how to combat them, you'll get blown the fuck up. So Fuertes are gone, Blancas are gone. I don't think we're going to see anything close to C Viper in this game.
I don't like this logic.
Viper's
This leads to Takeda not being in the game.
Takeda, not even Takeda. Neutral jump punch is fucking obnoxious.
I don't like this. I don't like where this is going. This is bad.
Takeda's not even that great of a character.
He's really not.
But he's just obnoxious. But I mean, just they were trying to make everyone play Street Fighter, which is why you're not seeing any Seths, Vipers, probably Blanca, for that reason. They even said we tried to base everyone's style somewhat around Ryu to an extent. You know, Ryu was kind of our template for how every character should play, which means every character is probably going to have a footsie game. Everyone's going to have to play by the rules of Street Fighter. Viper did not have to play by the rules of Street Fighter. Seth did not have to play by the rules of Street Fighter. Motherfucking Akuma did not have to play by the rules of Street Fighter. So I think that's what they're going.
Be careful talking about Akuma.
Yeah, I'm just saying, dude. I am just saying.
So yeah, Zangief.
Yeah, Keith. Yeah, I think he's a very good traditional style of play, and the fact that he doesn't have a green hand is going to force him to play more like a grappler. Which, I mean, he is a grappler in Street Fighter 4, but he's so much more, especially in the other versions, you know. And in vanilla Street Fighter 4, like, his poke game was so good that you didn't even really have to grapple that well. You can just rely on pokes for a lot of your damage. But yeah, it's heartbreaking. There's so many other characters I would have rather have seen. But if we had to have him, I wish we could have seen a post Street Fighter 4 Zangief. That's what I wanted. I wanted to be updated, you know? Shave something on him. Beard. Chest. I don't care. Make him
You
different.
think the red cycle would shave?
That's,
Okay, but
Tavares, we both know he only gets hairier with time.
Shadowloo actually brings up an incredibly good point here.
Huh?
One reason why it's hard for me to not put Zangief in a game, because I really do feel like we need a Russian representative. I feel like someone from Russia needs to be in Street Fighter. That's why it kills me. I don't like this guy. I do like the character. I don't want him in Street Fighter 5, but can we have a Street Fighter game without a Russian representative?
would it be in poor taste to just imagine Vladimir Putin?
You can imagine Vladimir Putin all you want.
I mean, I've seen him
All day.
in a Street Fighter game to finish when I was, going for that. But like, yeah, I've seen him without his shirt on, and he rides horses, and I don't know. He seems like he kind of fits within the Street Fighter game, the way he presents
Holy
himself.
shit! What am I thinking? Necro. Why the fuck can we have had Necro?
I was about to say, and now I'm picturing like Vladimir Putin dressed as Necro, and it's kind of awesome.
It's interesting, but yeah, well, fuck Zangief then. Fuck this guy.
I didn't know Necro was Russian.
He's pretty
Yep.
Russian.
Is he human?
Human
He's
experimented on.
experiments, yes.
All right, okay.
Him and his gal pal FP broke out of one of the Illuminati's facilities, and they're on the lam.
Check the lore.
Yeah, if we can put fucking Nash and Guile in the same fucking game, we can put fucking Dalsim and fucking Necro in the same game. I don't think that's going to be a problem.
That's a match long time coming. I'd love to see it. I actually really
Oh,
like Necro a
absolutely.
lot.
Yeah, Necro's good stuff. I like Necro. Like, I don't. He's not one of my favorites, but I can't find anything wrong with him. I think he's a fun character to watch, even like a very interesting character to watch.
Wouldn't make a top 5 list of mine, but top 10, yeah, he'd squeeze in there.
Well,
Well,
that's it for me and Geef.
I-
Do you guys got anything else?
yeah, we're already running long, so I don't mean to slow it down anymore. But I feel like Zangief is maybe the most egregious of the characters that's been announced, as far as just like aesthetics go. Lack of redesign, lack of creativity. So
I'd agree with that.
I'm wondering, like, what could you really do to update his appearance to move him forward visually?
Put some clothes on him. Something.
Really?
You could wear like
Yeah.
a bear pelt as a cape.
Make him bald.
What if you give him like
I'm serious.
like scary
Yeah, bald wouldn't be horrible.
Peter
Bald would be
Steele
a-
hair?
Wow.
That would actually be cool.
Just go
dude.
the other
Like,
way with it. Just more hair everywhere.
Oh, Jesus, I can actually see this whole, like, fucking Grigory Rasputin look for the guy.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
I
big
would
old,
like
like,
that.
Cossack coat. Honestly, real winter, like, out there training with bears for a year Zangief. I'd like to see that a
That's
lot.
actually way scarier. That sounds kind of terrifying. I'm down.
Yes. This is such a missed opportunity, it's not funny.
Capcom, you listening? Make it happen.
All right, well, that's Geef.
I wish that was Geef.
I do. Actually, I honestly do too. That sounds awesome. But the next character is Laura.
Laura Croft?
No,
That wouldn't be
it's
horrible, but
pronounced Lara Croft, man.
She looks a little bit like the Tomb Raider, but
you know, I would argue with you, Razor, but I've checked so much
I-
lore tonight already.
she looks
I am
even
all lore
more
checking
like
out.
Orchid or Sheed if you prefer.
I would read Laura's to him.
No,
Who wouldn't rate those? Actually, I was in the middle of that
Goodness.
right before we began this
I hit her
podcast.
V trigger. You know what I mean.
I don't. You have to explain right now.
Would you
Laura.
giggle? I might giggle.
I might. I giggle.
I might giggle.
But Laura's an interesting gameplay design. Some flavors of DJ in there. Some flavors
Oh,
of
no, she's gonna be
other
bottom
grapplers.
tier.
And well, apparently people are saying she's one of the weaker characters in the game right now. I don't know how true that is. I played against Laura
That's a
quite a bit,
shame.
but no one knew what they were doing.
She does have a little bit of Sean in her.
Quite a bit, actually.
That
More than
phrasing-
I expected.
Like,
Well, it's
not literally.
fitting. Lore-wise, she's apparently his big sister.
oh,
Exactly.
Yes. They both have the wheel kick.
Okay. She have basketballs,
Nope.
but she has
Well,
boobs.
she's got large assets of a type.
I just wish I
It
could
is
use them as
also-
projectiles, right?
She uses Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
I see what you did there. She's also another one of the bottom S characters, along with Mika. Again, it's good to see Butts get better representation. I think they've been poorly represented in fighting games. But I'm kind of lukewarm on this
Stacked
character.
top and bottom. Let's not.
Yeah, that's good. And honestly, like, that's the stereotypical Brazilian girl, honestly. That's usually how they're portrayed.
Yes.
So, yeah, no, the design is...
It's accurately stereotypical.
I don't really have... She's kind of in Rashid territory. I think she's a decent character. Not really a lot to say. I don't plan... Unlike Rashid, though, I do not plan on playing Laura. I don't see myself using this character.
I think I'm gonna give Laura a try. Like, I don't know. Like, I can never say whether or not I'll main someone until I've actually tried out the roster, but I really like the way she looks.
I wish
Not
she
just
was.
design-wise, the way her moves look.
I wish she was
believe you.
wearing a bit less of the Brazilian flag. It's very obvious.
Yeah, it's
She could use some
super
variations.
She is going heavy on
it's
the...
kind of- It's kind of painful.
Was it as obvious as that skin pack for Mortal Kombat?
It's pretty much up there, yeah.
It's actually worse than that, in my opinion. Like, the skin pack was more subtle in Mortal Kombat.
I don't know. I can't say the skin pack was more subtle, because it's literally just Johnny Cage and Liu Kang in a shirt with the Brazil flag right on there. At least she's got the colors worked into her color scheme.
Yeah, that makes it more over the top, in my opinion, though. Like, it's
Although-
like she's... Yeah.
Like
Do we
the,
actually have any
the
Brazilian
chaps
listeners out
wear
there?
like
that'll-
just the black underwear butt. I don't know.
Brazilian listeners, if you're out there, if I come down that way, is it just like all green and yellow all day? Is this all you guys wear? Because this is what games are having me believe.
Well, yeah. Eddie Gordo
the
is
full
all about
Brazilian?
green and yellow too.
Full Brazilian.
Glad someone
Although-
made
We
a
should-
Brazilian joke.
Christy is able to refrain, hold herself back from. You know, she's got like silver and gold, so that's.
The thing with,
It's-
with Laura for me, like, I look at her and I feel like she's actually the only character that I can look at and not really get much vibe of her personality or character just visually.
It's vague.
Maybe that's
It's-
just me. And,
yeah.
She looks.
No,
she also
I
looks a little
kinda-
bit like Orchid, but you know, whatever.
I would still say overall it's an improvement in terms of, like,
that's-
represent...
there you
yeah.
go. Laura's personality, she's obsessed with shutting down Ultra Tech.
Well, no. Again, she's here to prove the strength of her Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Matsuda-style jiu-jitsu.
That's her lore.
That's her lore. She is literally take Makoto's storyline and replace, like, Rindokan Karate with Matsuda Jiu-Jitsu, and you
So
have her
she's
story.
the Honda.
Yes, she is. And she's got that, and she's got lightning attacks, and she's got a little mini teensy fireball, and she's got some...
Teensy
I don't
fireball.
care. I'm not
I
playing
don't know.
this
Is
character.
it so much to ask that everybody either be mad at Shadaloo or at the Illuminati?
Oh, in Street Fighter,
Really? Yeah, I know. I just
not
must
IRL.
there always be a World Warrior tournament?
Okay,
Why can't it just be people going after the crime lords?
like Sagat.
Of note, though, she is the first playable grappler character in the series to have a projectile, as the Street Fighter V wiki tells me.
Oh,
Which is good. I think
It's
that's
it's
a
it's,
healthy-
it's, it's innovative. It's kind of cool.
I guess Green Hand's not a projectile.
Nah, it's not. It's not in the least.
And that
it's a-
projectile shuts down a lot of options, too. What's up?
No, just saying that the green hand is definitely more of a close-in technique. It's not a projectile. You can't have projectile wars with a green hand.
You can go through projectiles with it. It's like an anti-zoning kind of technique.
Pretty much.
I would still say aesthetically, this character is acceptable.
God.
I do like the character.
I gotta look at her again. This is bugging me.
Not
I
my
don't-
favorite, but yeah.
I don't hate her. I just don't find her interesting.
I do think that her character design could be more lively.
It just
Like, I don't know.
before now, like the best representation Brazil had was that everyone trained with electric eels. So at least it's a step forward in that respect, you know.
Oh, so Jane
she's-
is a
no,
guest
we
character.
attracted-
We had Sean too. We had Sean Matsuda. I'm gonna say that that's a better representation than Blanca was.
I'm gonna say something controversial here. I don't
Sean
like
sucks.
Sean. He doesn't suck. He's Nicali territory. He's just
Dude,
boring.
dude.
Sean for me is like Kai in MK4. Like, he's the guy who was trained by one of the legendary characters, and he doesn't live up to the.
Except,
You know, he doesn't get to be in the sequels and carry on for the.
Except it's not canon that like Kai sucks. Sean does suck. This is fact.
Really?
Django, you
Yeah,
sound like you're
like-
struggling over there.
I'm sorry. His entire Street Fighter 3 storyline is this thing. He's not even Ken's student. Like not even the way that like Ryu teaches Sakura. Like he spends his time trying to get Ken to train him.
Oh, I
To the
see.
point where like Ken says, "I'll take you on if you can go and beat Ryu."
that's a dick move.
That
Yes,
is a
it
dick
is.
move.
Yes, it is.
It's
So that's like
literally you
Sean's Street
must
Fighter
defeat
3
Ryu
ending.
to stand a chance.
So yeah, Sean's Street Fighter 3 ending is just like Ryu throwing him over and over again, and him not wanting to give up.
That's like, fuck, that's a dick move. That's like Tim Drake wanting to be Robin and Batman being like, okay, go kick Deathstroke's ass.
So like, I just
Okay, cool.
if I can see like
No,
one,
it's more like Batman going, "When you end all crime in Gotham, I will train you." Because if you can beat Ryu, you don't need training.
pretty much. See, this is
Or
where I have
Batman
a
being like,
hope
just
for,
beat
like-
me. Let's just put it like that.
This is where I have a little bit of hope for like Laura's storyline because I can just totally see her like meeting Ken, him like being Ken and like kind of casually flirting and going, "I'll let you fight my brother sometime." So the whole thing is her fault. I will laugh if this turns out to be the case.
I don't like the attitude about that guy, Seth, going on around here. That's not a Seth. What is his name?
Sean?
John! Sorry.
Seth is the dude with the yin yang in his
Let's not
stomach.
talk about Seth. I don't like that character.
Yeah, to be fair, as much as I don't like Sean, I hate Seth. Like,
Seth
Seth is the
sucks.
worst Street Fighter character. Like, I can't think of anyone I hate more than Seth.
Seth-
He is the
he's-
worst.
I'm not a fan. I can't disagree with you there.
But Sean,
Someone should like lock Seth and the male chameleon in a closet together. And like,
Look, I appreciate that
nitrous
Seth
oxide.
Killian
I like
is like a
Chameleon.
big deal in the community, but you don't name your boss Seth. It's not intimidating.
It's actually, well, it's named after Seth Killian, but you're right. There's
Yeah,
a
like
whole
if
stand-up bit
if it
just
was
about
named
that.
Killian, maybe that would be like
That would be a good name, actually.
that'd be a decent name for a boss character. Like, but I can't take it seriously when the story mode ends with you fighting a dude named Seth.
okay, Seth, in Judaism, Christianity, and so forth, was the third son of Adam and Eve and brother of Cain and Abel. He's the one no one gives a shit about.
well, duh. Check the lore. Everyone knows that.
I'm getting straight up biblical lore in this bitch.
I actually knew that. That
And you know what?
That I did know.
Yeah. This is actually just the surface. Like, that's where the hate begins, but having to fight against Seth in any of the versions, but especially AE. Like, he was pretty shitty in 2012. I think he was probably better in 2012, but I hated AE Seth. Or, God, there's been so many versions. Maybe it was 2012 that he really pissed me off, but in all of them, I hated fighting Seth in all versions. I fucking hated that character. Just dumb, just horrible, and it makes no sense from a game design point. He can zone, he has aerial abilities, he has fucking rushdown capabilities, he has a command grab. Like, this character makes no fucking sense. Oh man, I hate that character so much, so much. Any last thoughts on Laura?
Yeah, I totally did not know that she was Sean's sister.
Well, now you do.
I'm kind of salty right now.
Yeah, a lot of Sean fans are.
You dislike Sean so much you don't want any member of his family in the game?
I like Sean a lot,
Oh.
and he's not
Maybe
in
you
the game.
should Go home and be a family man.
She's just so boring. Look at her. And then look at Sean, who's like throwing basketballs at people.
I'd rather look at Laura than Sean, dude.
Well, I don't want. I see. Okay, that's cool.
No, I mean, it's fair. If you like Sean, I respect that. I just think he's kind of boring.
I would take Sean back before a lot of other characters. I enjoyed him a great deal.
I don't know, the cornrows on half of her head are an interesting choice.
Maybe it's kind of a weird throw to Sean's hair. His hair is a little bit like that.
I don't hate her. It's just she's got a lot of playstyles, and none of them interest me. She's a combination of a bunch of playstyles that I don't particularly care to use. And visually, I don't think she's just that hot. She's so hot either. I don't know. Just not a bad character. Just not my deal.
I just don't get any personality from her. Like fucking Rashid rolls up with his badass Bluetooth Google Glass, eye thing in his backpack, and he's like, okay, this is cool. This chick just looks like, let's go to the beach. She looks kind of like, a Kardashian after they get through photoshopping them,
I mean, yeah, I can't argue with any of that, but I mean,
just meh, whatever.
I do like the gameplay a lot, though. I like the idea that she can kind of trail behind her projectile for offense. I like the more mobile grappling, which is really cool. Mika is a grappler, but it's not terribly.
What I'm interested in, that the running up on you and then suddenly you're in an armbar and all that stuff.
All right, well, next character is Sim, who I think is an excellent choice. I feel like every Street Fighter game should at least have a handful of the original 8 World Warriors, and Sim, that's a gameplay style you have to have, in my opinion. It's not Street Fighter if you don't have a Dalsim-esque character.
It wasn't a matter of if, it was when.
Exactly. And I think he's a great character. Like, from what I do remember from the animated movie, they did a really good job on Sim. Like, the Honda Sim fight was really good.
It was great,
I remember. And I just like the character. I think he's a cool guy,
I think he's interesting. I don't know, like, if they hadn't redesigned him, give him the turban and beard, I don't think that I would have been down for having him come back.
The redesign is very good. I'll definitely give you that.
He's evolved from one stereotype into kind of another one, but not as bad, actually. Because basically he was before kind of the witch doctor from Temple of Doom, pretty much.
Yup.
Now he's more kind of like generic guru guy, but this suits him much better, I actually think.
Character-wise, he was always personified as more of the guru guy. I don't know why they went with the Mola Ram outfit.
So yeah, this much better for him. The beard, great touch. The nail paint also actually kind of works. Really minimalistic design choices that actually just emphasize him in small particular ways. I like it. I like it a lot.
His gameplay is also very interesting now too. Like, he's got like an upward fireball, I think now.
I got a friend
teleports look more potent. Yeah.
I got a friend who mains Dalsim, and we have endless back and forth tense Vega Dalsim matches. When we saw that aerial fireball super, he just looked at me and grinned. I'm like, oh, fucking Christ. Our matches are just going to go to the next level. It's going to be wonderful.
He looks way more offensive. That's really the most interesting part of him, is he looks more rushdown capable.
I don't know about rushdown, so to speak, but
I feel like the teleport mix-ups are going to be very interesting. I think when people get good at that, those teleport mix-ups are going to be much more potent than they've ever been.
Yeah, the yoga float, that's the scary shit. That's what makes them, I guess, a little bit rushdown.
Yeah, that's going to be cool. All right, any final thoughts on Dalsim?
Caltrops. Okay. He's basically got like caltrops.
Yes.
They're in blacks. Very neat.
Carpet.
Man, getting in a corner against a nasty Dhalsim is going to be a very, very, very surefire way to have a death sentence.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I like the idea of characters being dangerous. You know, I want a game to be balanced, but I want characters to feel dangerous as well. I want everyone to feel scary. I want everyone to have good shit, basically. You know, that's kind of the criticism everyone had with Vanilla Street Fighter 4. Everyone kind of felt like they were playing with cushioned walls and a cushioned ground. Like nothing felt dangerous. Everything felt slow. Nothing was really that scary. You know, it's whoever chipped away the other guy first or picks a got. You know that. I feel like those days are over. Creators understand games need to be very. Just high execution needs to feel rewarding. Good setups need to feel rewarding. And I think Street Fighter 4 was always like that. We just didn't know it back then. Street Fighter got ridiculous as it evolved. But anyway, that's Dhalsim. I originally wanted to have a sort of a guessing expectation. What do we think of Zen/Fan? But we're running really long. We might just have to skip that and go straight to the DLC characters. Thoughts?
All right. So, for those of you who do not know who the DLC characters are, the list is as follows.
Spoilers! Spoiler warning,
Reportedly.
everybody. Spoilers. Oh my god. Okay.
Number one,
Spoilers.
Alex.
Wait. Razor, can you say that again?
Spoilers?
Cool.
That's how I say it. I always, because I think it's funny.
That's a new sound.
It is.
It's a new thing for my soundboard. Cool. All right, Shadowloo.
Alex. Balrog. No, sorry, Barlog.
Barlog.
Never forget. Guile. Ibuki. Juri. And Urien. I am also, for some reason... Oh, yes, and also a new character by the name of Fan. Fan.
Fun.
This is...
I don't know.
This appears to be kind of one of those screechy-voiced old man kind of figures from what we've heard the voice samples so far. But, this is our list. I'm also seeing Gil's name for the first time as we speak right now on the Street Fighter V wiki. I'm debating the veracity of this. I'm going to look this up. In the meantime, thoughts?
They can't have Gil and Urien, can they?
I would like to see Gil competitively. I think it would be cool to see him as a roster character.
Look, where was Akuma on this list ever?
He's nowhere, and honestly, in my opinion, that's the way it should be. I do not want Akuma in this game.
There's no fucking Sean. There's no fucking Akuma. It's like
I
Capcom doesn't want Django to buy the game. That's what I'm hearing.
At some point, you gotta defeat Akuma. And I think 4 was the time, because they brought back fucking Goken.
Right, but this is before Street Fighter 4, so
No, this is after 4 and before 3.
fucking lore.
Check it. And no, this whole Gil thing is entirely unsubstantiated. This appears nowhere. So, no, that's not happening.
He goes 1, 2, 4, 5, 3. It's not that hard.
Logically, it.
I mean, in
come
theory,
on.
that could change. I don't think Capcom's officially announced that it's going to be before 3. I think we've kind of deduced that with good evidence, but I don't know if that's official yet.
It was mentioned by some representative from Capcom at one of the conventions. At a panel.
I'll keep my fingers crossed. I'll hope that was a misunderstanding. I hope this is another Kiefer Sutherland moment, but we'll see.
Shadowloo knows. Check the lore.
The lore on Shadow. We all have our own lore now.
He's checking the lore right now, and it's telling him Gil might be in the game.
Lore checked.
This, no. I don't believe that. I don't believe that until I see shady rumors from other sources.
Who is the boss, then?
I think it's Fan.
It's either Fan or it's Urien as a surprise. That's all I can say. I'm kind of hoping for Urien personally.
I do want to chime in on this Akuma business. The problem I have with Akuma is he's a very difficult character to balance. He's been pretty much ridiculous in every game he's been in. Never like S tier, or maybe in one of the renditions of Street Fighter 4 he was S tier, but I don't think you can reasonably balance that character. I think we should just, for the sake of everybody, just once leave him out, at least for now. So, and also, I'm just sick of him. You know, I've always defended the Shotos. I've always said the Shotos do not play exactly alike. They are different styles. People need to stop complaining about clones.
My butt is hurt.
Different of a style
I'm
than, say,
butthurt.
Sagat is from Ryu and Ken. So, well, that's, that's the way something does things.
That's the way it
you know?
goes.
And
I'm used to it, man. I played MKX. It's okay.
yeah, that's true. Our butts are all sore from MKX, but
No Fujin, no Sean, no Akuma. It's like, I just, nothing. It's all good.
Akuma will come. Just saying. He's in that Sakura boat.
He's under that random
going to
tile.
happen.
I know it.
and that's unfortunate for me. I think I agree. I think Akuma's probably going to show up in about 2018. I
But
think
they made
Akuma's-
they made a very wise choice by not making him a debut character.
At least we'll have some peace and quiet for the time being. Like I don't even dislike Akuma. Like I loved Akuma in the crossover series. Like when I found the Raging Demon is one of the most badass like super moves of all time. And when I found out that I could do the same super beam that I did with Ryu, but have it be purple, I'm like, I'm using this character. This character's badass. So I mean, I liked him for a time, but my God, at some point, yeah, he needs to be thrown to the side for a time, in my opinion.
Well, no one else does air fireballs, do they? In this game?
That's because air fireballs are stupid and broken.
They don't have to be.
That is true. That is very true.
I know,
That's a good
because
point.
I did it as Nightwing, and it was amazing, and I got my ass destroyed all the time. It's not OP.
Hey, it's never been technically OP. Well, no, there was a time when Akuma was I think Super Turbo. Wasn't Akuma like...
Super Turbo Akuma is illegal. You cannot use
Yeah.
him in tournaments.
He is literally God tier. Like, we say God tier all the time, but God tier truly means that there's one character that cannot be beaten by anyone in the roster when played at the correct level. So he was true God tier. But it's just, you gotta decide. They need to decide on what his design is, because they made him like this complete character with stupid properties, and all they did to compensate was lower his health. I don't think that's good game design, in my opinion.
Well, yeah,
It's the same reason Seth is
they
all-
let his story dictate his moveset, which obviously he's unbalanced because he's supposed to be super fucking powerful. But, yeah, I mean, that's not really good for a game.
Oh no, it's not amazing. It's not amazing whatsoever. But anyway, I do like Akuma. I'm always gonna like the character. Sagat's really where I'm butthurt. Where the fuck is Sagat? He is the
Yeah.
original zoner. He was a zoner before all other zoners, in my opinion.
Tiger.
Tiger.
I will say that much. With how awesome and like beefy and buff like Zangief, as much as I hate the fact that he's here, actually looks, Sagat in this game is going to look fucking amazing, assuming it actually does happen. Which
I hope
really
so.
wanna see.
I
I
hope
want to
From
see
a
that
gameplay
scar.
standpoint, he's too important. He's way too important.
I will throw money at Capcom if we can get Wes Studi's movie Silver Suit in this on this bitch. No one.
Well, maybe.
I just thought it was a great look for Sagat. I don't know. Something about a shiny silver business suit.
I think he'd look good. Keep the eye patch.
he's king of Mai Tai.
But
What do we?
Be
Well, I was
stylish.
going to say the DLC characters. Do we think these are good choices?
yes,
I
actually,
like all
on
of
the
them
whole.
except Balrog.
Agreed.
I'm
Bingo.
really happy with.
Wait, run through them one more time.
Barlog, Alex, Guile, new character Fan, Ibuki, Juri, Urien.
Yeah, well,
Well, I don't think Fawn's going to be DLC. I think he's actually the boss. I think he's number 16. I don't know if
Maybe.
he's going to be part of the DLC, but I mean, it's hard to say for sure.
I don't know how I feel about Guile.
Oh,
See-
I think. Yeah, go on.
Well, if you're
I
bringing
would-
Charlie back, you gotta have Guile.
That's the whole thing. I'd be a lot more upset about Guile being here if Charlie wasn't already. I don't know. But, like, for the sheer fact that, like, Charlie's in this game and he's alive, after so many years, this is like the rematch. Well, not rematch. This is where Guile finds out he's alive. This is where this finally happens. And I think that's kind of worth the price of admission alone, you know?
Yeah, or they could like just have them never cross paths. So Guile keeps thinking that he's dead and keeps talking about how Charlie's dead for the rest of the
Which
series.
would be awkward for
He's
everybody.
been doing that since '97,
Right, and everyone else was
like,
like, dude, I fought Charlie like the other day. He's crazy now. He's got this hair and these glasses. No, Charlie's dead, bro.
He's a Frankenstein's monster, man.
That's not Charlie. That's not Charlie, man.
Just make things up. Hurt my feelings.
They changed Charlie so much, though, man, that you need that play style. You need to have the Guile play style. You can't make a Street Fighter game without that, in my opinion. And Charlie is his own thing now, so you gotta have that represented. You know,
Well, who had it
there's too
in
many good
Third
Guile
Strike?
players out. Remy, I believe.
Remy was the closest one that it
Yeah,
came,
that's what I was thinking. Remy would be tight.
Yeah, Remy would be sick. Yeah,
Remy's awesome.
I want Remy back. Remy was great.
I like Guile a little better.
There was like a billion fucking little sonic booms.
Remy
at
is
you.
cool though. I do like Remy quite a bit, but I don't know with that theme song. It's not like Guile's ever going to not be in a Street Fighter game with that theme song.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I gotta say, I think the soundtrack's kind of weak sauce for this game so far.
I haven't heard. Even though I played the demo, I can't remember anything I heard. Like it's all washed out by this point.
Well, I'll save that for another time because me and Street Fighter sound, we go way back. So, next time.
Well, I did want to say, before we close this out, I want to do kind of like a go around each person. Who does everyone think they're going to main? In Razor, I know you're going to need to play everyone first, but if just based on who you like, just use that as a starting point, I guess.
Well, I definitely want to give Laura a try. I think maybe Mika?
Mika.
Yeah, well, that was my main in the demo. You probably would really like Mika.
John Cena.
Do do do.
I just wish that little ditty was in the thing. God, I would main Mika so fast. I mean, Vince McMahon might smack him, but probably not. He probably wouldn't notice. Just little do 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 do.
Well,
Mixed a
Django,
little or
with
something.
Sean not in the game and Akuma not in the game, who do you plan on
What do you
maining?
mean out of the what game? There is no game. There's no Sean, no Akuma. What?
Sort of a game.
That's what I
It's a
hear.
little bit of a game.
Okay, all right.
I just lost the game.
You lose. Well, that one day, you know, when I get gifted a PS4, or I win one like Eris did, like, I don't know, probably Ken. You want more?
No, that's good.
Kenny. Kenny.
Well, I know you were a Ken fan forever, so I had a feeling you were going to say Ken. But Ken's a good choice, dude. Like, they did a real good job on him in this game.
Yeah, he looks buff. He's not Sean. He's not Akuma, but he's pretty.
He's got a ponytail.
He's pretty cool. He does
So
have a
if-
ponytail.
Okay, let's do this, Django. If Sean and Akuma were both on the roster, you have Sean, Akuma, and Ken, who do you pick?
Is it that really cool fan art version of Dark Hedo Sean?
No.
That would be that would be the best.
Yeah, Sean should have the dark heado.
Sean with the Dark Hedo would just be. I would never stop playing the game. If we
So we had Evil Ryu,
If anybody would
fucking Violent
accept the
Ken,
killing intent, it's Sean Matsuda.
and Rambunctious Sean. Okay.
rambunctious. Is that what we're gonna call him?
Like Violent Ken, Rambunctious Sean. I like it.
You ruined it. It's
Well,
done.
But that version's not in. We have Third Strike Sean. So what do you want?
You guys
Is
have
it
seen
Akuma
that
or is
fan
it-
art version, haven't you, of Sean?
No, I haven't seen it. No,
He's
I
got
don't
like
look at
long
Sean
ass
fan
like
art.
Hedo dreads. It looks awesome.
I've seen that. That's pretty dope.
It's like, yeah, if that guy was in the game, it'd be over. If regular Sean was in the game, he would still be my main, even if Akuma was.
Okay. All right. Cool.
But no, Ken looks good. I'm happy they did well.
Yeah, Ken's a good even though I'm a Ryu guy, like
That's the
Ken
thing.
is-
That's
yeah.
the only thing that would draw me to Ryu is the parries, because it's just fun.
Yeah, it feels super rewarding too. I mean, I can't use it at a high level, but it's really it's super interesting to do.
Fun.
And Shadaloo,
Well, I was gonna like fun aside, having fun with parries. If I wanted to like play it seriously, not competitively, but seriously online, then Ken.
Well, you can actually. We'll probably wrap up on that point, but I have a lot to say about that as well. But we know who you're going to pick, Shadaloo. I guess what I would ask you is who your secondary would be if Vega didn't show up. Who else looks super cool to you?
Rashid. Definitely Rashid.
Interesting. Why is that?
I'm a fan of the playstyle. Really? If I had to pick someone based on pure playstyle alone, who I have been maining since 1995, it's him. I wasn't kidding when I said that I was a fan of the Joe Higashi and like Andy Bogard / Rolento clusterfuck. Like, I'm really all about in Street Fighter characters who can just jump in and out and do crazy mix-ups and shit, and that's the way I like playing.
If they made another Capcom versus SNK, would you use both Barlog and Bohard?
Barhard?
Bohard.
Bolog?
you said Bohard earlier, so
I meant to say Bogard, sorry.
I tried to make it a thing. It didn't work. But okay, I didn't see that coming. Honestly, Shadaloo, I did not expect you to pick Rashid. I mean, he's a great character, but
Can Rashid jump off the walls?
I think so. But I
Yes, he
not
can, I believe.
100%, yeah.
Cool. Yeah, Rashid. I agree. I think Rashid looks tight.
Birdie will be a third for me, though, definitely. We'll see how we'll see how this incarnation of him plays. He's going to be very, very different to Alpha, so I'm not entirely sure just yet.
He seemed like he was really good in the demo, from what I read. It seemed like he was a very strong character. All right, I guess I'm last.
Tim, who are you going to main?
I am going to main, believe it or not, Ibuki.
Huh.
Like, that is probably going to be my main. I love that character.
Okay,
I love
see-
that playstyle.
Okay, see, I didn't realize that we're actually talking about also the DLC characters up in here.
Oh, okay. All right, guys, let's start over. Let's do this. Razor.
Okay, well, if we're including DLC, I'm actually a big Jury fan.
So, Jury more than Laura, then.
Maybe. Again, we'll see.
Django?
I would want to give Urian a shot, but no, it's just based off gameplay, like who I actually feel.
Oh,
better.
Urian's awesome. I love Urian.
No, yeah, I love Urian. If I can charge partition people, and if I can actually do it, that would be pretty fun. But I don't know. It'd be between Urian and Ken then.
Okay, cool. Shadaloo, what do you got?
It depends largely upon two words. Aegis Reflector.
Oh, it's coming.
See?
You know it's coming back, dude.
It is. It absolutely has to be.
He's going to set that up. He's going to bulge right through that Aegis projector, man. Or reflector. Something.
It's a projector.
Big glowy
And on it, they
does
show Street
project
Fighter the
the
movie all
reflector.
day.
Aegis trajector.
All right, one last question for Urian opinions, because I've seen a lot of like mixed about this. And thong or suit to fight
Suit. Suit.
in? Okay.
Well, we've seen him in the thong. I would actually kind of like to see him fighting in the suit, be all classy. I don't know. He could have two costumes. It's not like a...
He probably will. I'm just saying, as his main.
As his main, I'd kind of like the suit.
All right.
I'd rather him have something new and different. But if I had to pick between
enough.
those two, I would go with a banana hammock.
All right.
Fair.
All right. Cool.
Although I will say I kind of would like to see something more elaborate on his original design, but I feel like when you take that many articles of clothing off, you lose a lot of design potential, you know? I'd like to see like
I mean, that was... That came up a few times back in the day on the boards when we'd complain about, like, the MK9 women. Like, the more skin you show, the less fancy clothing you have on. So it's like, where's the personality coming from?
That's the deal. Like, I feel like if you're gonna do something like a dude in a thong, we got HD shit now. Like, just make it more interesting. Don't just have a dude literally in a thong. Like,
that's the thing.
use the resolution
Didn't we,
to bring visual interest somewhere.
it might not have come across because of the 2D nature of the graphics at the time, but he wasn't just bronzed. His skin was hardened. You could hear it whenever he blocked stuff. So I think that I think that assuming that he will be wearing that thong, and you know he will, we're going to actually be able to see that a little bit better this time.
So it's like Colossus?
He'll actually look, yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Except without ridges. Without ridges.
Ruffles, we have ridges.
Maybe look more metallic. That would be pretty cool, actually.
I dig
I think a
it.
great way to
That's what
please
we expect.
everyone would just be to give him like a shirt or a jacket, but keep just the thong and no pants. I think that's a great middle ground. That's going to make everybody happy.
Wait, what? No.
See, half the reason I would say the thong was because that intro was just amazing.
Yeah, it was good.
No one
Yeah, it
can
was-
deny
Oh.
that intro was amazing.
Oh, definitely.
Get ready to die. Bam! Naked.
I mean, it's a little, it's a little Magic Mike,
That's how you do it.
but you know, if anyone's gonna do like a surprise
I don't know.
stripogram, Urian's cool.
But I guess just to elaborate on Buki, she's actually one of my favorite characters. Like, I just think she's cool. I love that playstyle. I like the fact that she's on the scene. There's a lot of good things about Ibuki. Now, if we're taking the DLC characters out, because Urian's also one of my follow-ups. He's a potential main as well. I would say Chun-Li would be my main. If we're not counting DLC, Chun-Li, I've always wanted to play that character. I could never do the piano inputs. So now I can finally
Interesting.
get good with Chun-Li. I think she's a great character. I love that design. That's one of the only characters on the roster where I can say, I'm glad they did not update the character. I like this design too much.
Well, for what it's worth, I'll be sticking with the evening dress. I am tired of that old suit.
I've seen that costume, the pre-order one. That looks like a really good costume too. I do like that costume as well.
I think people would be making a bigger deal out of it were it not for Dad Ryu.
So sexy, man.
No, it's a good costume.
I'm going to find like
The
the
last
most
point-
high res picture of that I can and have it as, you know, the everything for this podcast.
It's a real possibility. We could do that. We have the power to do
We
that.
do. We got the internet right here.
And that's internet was the point I was going to close on. The online for this game felt great when I played it. Like I forgot I was
Nice.
playing online. That's how you know it's good. When you don't even think about the idea that you're playing on a connection, it was phenomenal. Like there's only like 2-3 matches that felt really shitty to me.
That
And just to get this out of the way, people are like, well, of course you beat the majority of your opponent's temp. It was a bunch of scrubs on the demo. No, it was not. You can tell when someone's good at the game, dude. No, like, when people are doing, like, footsies and anti-airs and fucking, like, cross-ups, like, no, they were not scrubs. Like, they weren't good, but they knew what they were doing. They knew how to... You can tell if someone knows how to play Street Fighter. So I'd say, about 80% of those victories to heart. Go on, Django.
no, I believe it. They're probably pretty good, and I think that's a really good point for the game to end on is the online. It's like in my opinion, it's the most important thing for a fighting game from now going forward until something replaces sitting on your couch in your underwear playing video games, which good luck. So, for the foreseeable future, if a fighting game does not come out with good netcode, playable netcode, just fuck off. What are you doing? What are you fucking doing?
I will not buy Mortal Kombat 11 if the netcode is not good. I will not give them money if they're not going to listen to us. I don't think we're asking for a lot here. And that goes for any fighting game. You have to have good netcode now.
You have to. Like, there's no question. This is in this medium, it's a 1v1 PvP experience. Look at, actually both. Look at Street Fighter and Killer Instinct. They're built from the ground up to be one thing. Play online. That's how the vast majority of people are going to be experiencing this thing. That's what it's for. If you can't do that, like I said, what are you doing? Who are you appealing to? Obviously, it's a weird argument because Mortal Kombat X has sold like bananas, but still, fuck right off.
I played Mortal Kombat 9 for 3 years straight after I bought it. I have not touched Mortal Kombat X in about 2.5 months. That's unacceptable. That is horrible, in my opinion.
And I understand it's an expensive endeavor for... No, actually I don't understand it, because fucking both Killer Instinct and Street Fighter are doing it, and they are way more hot up for cash than NRS are. NRS...
Yeah, fucking Double Helix made Killer Instinct.
Yeah.
They made that netcode with their Silent Hill Homecoming money. Like, no, fuck that.
Like, but I get it. They don't want to ditch their engine they've been using since MK versus DC. that's a great thing to hold on to, really. But you know what? Take the plunge, move on, do us all a favor, and let us play your game.
Because I want to play it. It's such a good fucking game.
It is. I wish I could just fucking run up and do Sub-Zero
Yeah.
bullshit. It would be great. But no, instead I have to neutral jump punch with Takeda.
You poor bastard.
It's NetherRealm's fault, damn it.
Wait, you're gonna... The netcode is the reason you're making me hate Takeda?
It's right. It's exactly
Yeah,
right.
it-
You know why? Because it works. You know what doesn't work? Whenever I try to actually do shit online with Sub-Zero, that requires timing and... Okay, I like Takeda jump punch also, but come on, man.
Well, no, you're not wrong.
Just think about
The
how much
netcode is
better I could
garbage.
do
It's
it.
not-
It feels wrong.
I could do those whips so well if the netcode was halfway decent, like way better.
I could punish those whips if the netcode was decent.
Right, but I would put them at better times, so you would probably still win.
We would see. My Shinnok does okay against you. It's my Cryomancer that can't fucking hold up against your Takeda.
That's right. I'll pick my Grandmaster and beat one of those characters.
Even with Shinnok, though, I think our last set you beat me 5-4. I think so. Even my Shinnok needs work, but until the netcode gets better, it's gonna be some time. We have a lot to look forward to, so let's hope it turns out well.
Which, like, everyone has joked around. If one of the...
Temp, we never had any bad connections between you and me for those games we played.
You weren't that bad. Cyborg was pretty good. Like, you and Cyborg were fine. Razor's wasn't great, unfortunately. He was playing Liu Kang too, which made it harder. Lot of fast normals. Django and me typically don't have a good connection anyway, because even in Killer Instinct, our connections weren't very strong.
Yeah, whenever it was like you, me, and Django, it would always, like, one of us would have trouble even getting into the room.
I'll take the blame for that. It's probably me. I live in Arkansas.
Well,
I would like to do Killer Instinct again. That was a lot of
Arkansas's
fun.
next to Texas, so you two should have no trouble.
I know, logic. It's just...
You would think.
It
You would
doesn't
think.
really apply here. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Anyway, Street Fighter V. You have good netcode is what I hear. Good on ya. Everyone else keep doing the same thing and just fucking bully those scrubs over at NetherRealm to drop their fucking MK versus DC engine. It's so... You can do it. You can do it.
We believe in you.
Sorta. Not that much, really.
Little
my
bit.
friend.
Injustice 2 is probably going to come out with the same engine.
It's a concern.
Alright, folks, it's 1:43 a.m. for me. I gotta get the fuck to bed.
Yeah, I gotta go to the store. I gotta go to Walmart.
Well,
Buy a pillow.
What, now?
Yeah, well, the thing is, my pillow... Normally I wash my pillow in the washer, like, twice a year. Something got caught on something, and the pillow's not usable anymore. I gotta buy a new one.
I'm more concerned about the fact that you're going to Walmart at like 1:45 in the morning.
Eh,
Wasn't that
sometimes-
late over there?
4 hours down. You don't have that?
You have 24-hour Walmarts?
yeah.
We
Yeah.
do.
That's the standard, actually.
It's really awkward because when you're trying to buy stuff and like grab like your pasta and your fucking ragu, there's like some dude unboxing shit right next to you.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
super awkward.
That's like... That's when I try to go to Walmart, actually.
This is the most train wreckiest thing I've heard all day.
Dude, it
It's
sucks. 'Cause
pretty
last time
much- gotta-
Fascinated by this, really.
I try not. I don't like Walmart. Like we have HEB here in Texas, and I love HEB. Everything's happier. And Walmart, like last time I was there, dude, I was trying to grab some cereal, and they put like 5 stocking boxes like in front of the Raisin Bran Crunch, and I was just fucked. So yeah, and everyone's so fucking unhappy. Like, and I get it. Like, it's not a fun job. Like, I'm not saying like they should like, you know, turn that frown upside down. But it's just not a good experience. I don't like giving money to Walmart, but I need a fucking pillow to go to bed tonight.
Well,
so
everyone,
gotta have it.
everyone here in Arkansas loves Walmart because Walmart's from here. It's the best thing.
I didn't know that.
It is.
I really.
You're welcome.
Okay.
And on that note, thanks for listening to us talk for like 8 hours or whatever the fuck. We'll be back in 2 years.
Yeah, right?
Take care, guys.
Good night, everybody.
Later.
We're gonna go home and be family men.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah. Select the one to fight with. Get it on. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Yes, sir. Pick and choose the right one. Get it on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's time for you to get into the character. You hit or lose or hit or win, I'm only asking you. Either you beat him or you beat him like an amateur. Either you drive or you get driven like a passenger. The fight's around the corner, so pick the one you want to. Represent your way, go head to head with your opponent. Feel it in the air, tension is electric. The glory's imminent, this is something epic. It's for one of you, so what you gonna do? When your enemy is standing right in front of you, are you gonna lose, or are you gonna prove to everyone that never thought you win that you can rule? Cause everything is in your hands, you control it. And everything that is the past, it is over. This is now, this is everything that is. So you better make the right pick. Select the one to fight with. Get it on. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Pick and choose the right one. Get it on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Select the one to fight with. Get it on. 10, 9, 8.
Don't say. Are you going to keep saying Capcom?
Capcom. It's pronounced Capcom.
Real quick, just a little note here at the beginning. Don't say Capcom anymore.
Do I always say Capcom?
I've heard Capcom at least 16 times.
Wow, that's the number of characters in the game. That's prophetic.
I don't want to get Yoshinoro on our bad side. He might put Blanca in the game.